Wow. Okay. Oh, I have to say, okay, we are under awkward start. Okay, let me just, let's just see. Hold up. Come on, Akeem, you did not build, come on, Akeem, you did not build this up to just like getting screwed over. Come on. Where's the camera? Where is the camera? Where is it? Where is it? Where's the camera, Akeem? Hold up, let me just, okay, let me just see. I'm going to go back to the camera again. Let me just also share screen. All right. Well, and, ooh, yeah. Okay, come on, Akeem, you can't, come on, Akeem, we cannot afford to do this. Cannot afford to do this. Come on, come on. At least the camera's working, right? Right? Ah, the camera's not working. Why? Oh, I built all of this up for like nothing. Oh, this is just brutal. Anyways, unfortunately, I have bad news. You get to see my horribly genetic AI face for the rest of the stream. God damn it. I was building up all of this thing. Yeah, sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Mackie here. It is 4 minutes to 7 on this, the 7th of April, 2026. It is a Tuesday. I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend because I do. I had a, well, a semi-blast, of course. I did some voluntary work. I did a lot of things, and that was just it. I never even got to like the rest of the things. I went to work yesterday, spending time with my family. All my family members are here, so you know, big up, as the Jamaican said, to my family members: Michael, Devon, Keith, Donna, Auntie Donna, all my family members who came here and have a great time and all the kind of stuff. And it's great to have family in these times of days. Okay, so the cringe commentary will continue, but before that, I have some very interesting stuff that I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you, ladies and gentlemen, the photos from Thursday. Yes, Thursday. Was it Thursday? I just trying to make sure. I don't remember. Yep, it was Thursday. So Thursday. Yep, Thursday last week, we did a health fair. Now, this was publicized by my uncle, my really loud, annoying uncle, of course. Shout out to him. And yeah, it was a fun time. It was a literal fun time. Let me just size it up this big. I just don't know why the camera thing is like this small. I just don't know why it's small. I just don't know. This is just what I have right now. And by the way, I wanted to show you some things. These are all photos, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the beautiful photos. Let me just big screen over there. Just look at how beautiful it is. For anybody who don't know where we are right now, I was in Titchfield High School. By the way, this is not me taking the photos. This is just the other media taking the photos as well. So I decided to cover up so that we don't want any information and all kind of stuff and all that jazz. So as you all know, this is the Wireless Foundation delivering health services and all this kind of stuff worldwide, and I was part of it. Not because I was a family member, but also I was a part of it as well. And this is, of course, a school, of course, Titchfield High School, which, by the way, I went to for about 5 years. And I have to say, these were one of my favorite 5 years of my entire life. The 2 years of college is not so much. One of my favorite moments when I was in Titchfield was when we won the first school challenge quiz. I believe it was the first school challenge quiz, not the second one. We won the second one after I finished graduating. But the first time we won school challenge quiz, I was elated. I was thinking to myself, how I got to tell you what, school that morning was going to be absolutely chaotic. It was going to be a celebratory mood. And I think this is probably the first time I get to witness something huge that involves my school or in my country. I mean, the only time I get to experience something big like this is when we won track and field Athletics and Usain Bolt, Shelly Ann Fraser, and all kinds of stuff comes in, and it's great. But I never went to a school that we have so much achievements. And since then, we won Eastern Champs. We won another school challenge quiz title, of course. And I have to say, man, I am literally the luckiest person in the world. My former principal, by the way, is it's a big wig in the ISSA games. I mean, for anybody who don't know, ISSA is the Inter Secondary School Association Sports Competition. It's one of those organizations that deals with high school sports and all kinds of stuff. And this year they had the champs, one of the most prestigious high school athletic competition in the world, to be honest. And my former principal there, who was, of course, I would love to name names. I know who he is, but I do not want to name it in the space of privacy and all kinds of stuff. I just want to keep it low down here. Low down. Okay. So my former principal is actually one of the big wigs in all the school. And for him to be like that is like, wow. I cannot believe my former principal was one of the biggest wigs. It's incredible, man. It is incredible. So this is the school we're going to, and these are all the lovely people, of course, who came here. Of course, these people who come here and work. That's incredible. And all of them volunteering, do some, they register and make sure they have to register in their name so they can go to all the checkups, of course. Yeah, little soldier friend, Mr. Popley, of course. And then, of course, there's a lot of people filing in. And then, of course, there's a lot of stuff. There's my aunt. There's a few uncles. There's Donna, of course. I think my mom is here. No, that was not my mom. My mom is a little different. By the way, these are like health packs, of course. And a little bit of heart monitors. No, heart pumps. Hold up. Wait, Akeem. Just take your time, all right? You don't want to embarrass everybody. You don't want to embarrass everybody. Huh? Like, yeah. Not a blood machine. Hold up. Oh, Jesus. I am botching this right now. I'm literally botching this right now, and we're not even getting to the casting. We're not even getting to the casting. I'm botching it up. Hold up. Okay. Oh, okay. Blood pressure machines. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of botching up. We got blood pressure machines all over, of course. There were lots on the table, of course. I was sitting beside them. So while they were all working at that, I was sitting beside them, and Mark, my good old dear friend, of course, not my father, but the other Mark. And I was sitting right beside when all of this is happening. That was right around the wood shop and when the bathrooms, the men's and women's bathrooms were. So I was right behind all of this stuff. And then there's one of the hard pressures, of course, one of the hard blood pressures, of course. Pretty good stuff. It's not the highest rated blood monitor and stuff, but it's actually pretty cool, of course. And then there's one of them, of course. And then there's a lovely people who actually work in them. I say hi. I mean, they were lovely stuff. And I think they work for they work for I mean, I have no idea. My memory just gone at this point. They were working for some kind of corporation within Portland and do all the health stuff, of course. And of course, this is my uncle, my sweet uncle, Mr. Uncle Keith, who, by the way, just retired from the Salvation Army. Couple of, I think last year. Yes, I think last year he retired from the Salvation Army. And for anybody who doesn't know, Salvation Army is literally where my Auntie Joy, my sadly deceased Uncle Charles, God rest his soul, who by the way did the work in the Salvation Army, and so does Uncle Keith. I mean, the Salvation Army is like, it's not as huge as the church I went to with the UPC, the United Pentecostal. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to talk about churches these days, but I have to be specific. I said it's a big deal. I said it's a massive, massive, massive deal for me. And so my uncle, of course, is now retired. He's now out of there, and of course, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, my uncle is, did the speech, give a prayer, of course, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, there was a lot of people, of course, recording this. That is Prestige, DJ Prestige, for anybody who don't know, in the Styles FM business, our local radio station right here in Port Antonio, where I'm living right now. He actually wanted to take good pictures, and there's my uncle, who, by the way, run the whole business. And then there's a lot of people. There was a lot of people who go into staff trying to get some work, of course. I think they're taking an eye exam. I believe they're taking one of those eye exams, of course, for a lot of people, of course. And yeah, there was a lot of people. And this is from the Lions Club, one of the... let me just do my research. So the Lions Club, for anybody who don't know, is an organization that serves, humanitarian and community support. It is a long-time club. It's been there since like 100 plus years, like 120, 10 plus years. Wow. They have been there longer than everybody else. I mean, our school is longer than them, 245 plus years, of course. But for them to go too long and do all the work is amazing. So shout out to the Lions Club, of course, for their hard hospitality, of course. And then there is water. That is one of the things to put in the water. Not chemicals, not to make the frogs green. Come on, I'm not that kind of crazy. But this is where we put in our filters. That's my uncle, by the way. And this is where we put our filters, of course, our spray bottles and all kinds of stuff. You put them in the water, and then you mix them in the water, and it will fill you up, and it will rehydrate. One of those rehydration filters. It is such a cool thing. And then, of course, another one of those checkups. They make sure that they do a little checkup. There's a music station right there. And by the way, to kind of register all the people to make sure that you get everything you needed. You make sure you get your heart pressure monitor, your glucose levels, and all kinds of stuff. So they're trying to register each and every person. I mean, I think I heard that like last year was a huge turnout, and this year was not. So it's kind of like understandable in most cases, of course. And then, of course, you got one of them having their blood pressure taken, of course. Pretty nice guy, of course. And then, of course, you got a lot of you get your blood sugar measurement by just pricking on the finger, of course. And then you have to you get your finger prick, you rub a little alcohol, you get your finger prick, it bleeds, of course, and then you put in the AccuCheck, one of those blood pressure monitors, or your blood pressure monitor, I think blood pressure monitors. And then, of course, you get your finger, plugs it in, and then you show your blood glucose and all kinds of stuff. It's some pretty good stuff. And those are all the needles that are placed into the blood pressure thing. So it's so those are the needles that you have to use for your blood pressure. And then, of course, you got your alcohol pass and make sure you rub the finger properly in your AccuCheck, and there you go. And then, of course, there's a lot of people. And then that's showing the blood pressure and all that stuff. There's a lot of empty seats, of course. Like I said, it's not a big turnout as we did last year. There, I think right there around the ball field is where some of the students did their track and field motivation and all kind of stuff. I mean, remember, we just finished work champs like I don't know, a month ago, of course, and there are still people training and all kind of stuff. And by the way, this was an Easter holiday weekend. And by the way, it was there you go. It was Holy Thursday. It was a Holy Thursday. There you go. That was last week Thursday. It was Holy Thursday, of course. And I woke up at around close to 5, I think, but close to 5:30. I woke up around 5:30. Like last year, I was never shown up. I never shown up. I came here late, like really, really late. Did not even showed up. I came here, did my work, and I did well. But I decided, but this year I kind of woke up 5:30 in the morning, and I just got ready. I got my shirt on. The shirt that I wear was kind of a little girly. It was kind of a little girly, of course. It was kind of like too skinny for my size. I got my right size. It's a little big, but it's good for my size. And then I went to go. I got my tag, by the way. I wish I have a camera to show you the tag. I wish. So you know what? Let me just try this again. Let's just try this again. See if we got the camera going. We don't have the camera going. You have got to be kidding me. Oh my goodness gracious. I wish I show you the whole thing. So actually, you know what? Let me just do this. Okay, let me just do this. All right. Just give me a couple of minutes. Give me a couple of minutes, guys. Give me a couple of minutes. Chat, hold on. Hold it, chat. We have 2 viewers. We got 2 viewers, by the way. One from Twitch and one from YouTube. Thank you for coming out to this stream. I'm talking about my volunteer work last Thursday, of course, with my uncle and my family. So it's a and I wanted to show you, by the way, the tag that I got from this. So hold up. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Just give me a minute, guys. Just give me a minute. Pause. I just want to show you the photo that I got. Actually, let's just go around here. Just admire the Lions Club just a little bit more. Make sure we don't get a lot, of course. Wait for it. Yeah, we got a new subscriber, by the way. Thank you, ML Live, for subscribing to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to 87 subscribers on YouTube. We are 13 subscribers away, 13 away from the golden 100 subs, which, by the way, is going to be a huge deal, by the way. It is going to be a massive deal, by the way. And, oh, yeah, we got some likes from the Twitch thing, of course, showing us a lot. We're live, ladies and gentlemen. We are literally live. And I am fumbling to show you the little tag. Hold up, guys. All right, let's just calm down. Listen, I will show you the tag, okay? Just hold on, okay? This is a little longer than I expected, okay? Be patient, Akeem. Be patient. Namaste. Okay. Now hold up. Let me just see. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So I don't have a webcam. Sadly, I don't want to show you this, but this is my tag, ladies and gentlemen. This is literally my tag for the event. This is how I wear, and actually, I make sure I spell my name right. By the way, it is literally Hakeem. That is my name, guys. Hakeem. The H is kind of silent. And I will tell you a little bit about the channel name and all kind of stuff. So anybody don't know, my name is Mackie. Mhakey. I know, like, one of my Twitch persons of, Snooey, who, by the way, does Legends of Runeterra and Riftbound and Cosmic Horror channel. Shout out to him, of course. Really good subscriber of the channel, or a really good friend of mine. He kind of botched my name. Like, I can understand him. I can totally understand that my name is a little bit weird in all the Orthodox, but let me just explain. So I'm going to use this a little notepad, and this is for later, by the way. This is my name in both channel and in name. You notice that the H and K is coming from my name, Akeem. Now, H-A-K-E is coming from my name. The M is coming also from my name. So I use like all the letters in my name. And the Y is kind of like a little bit of like, a little bit of a thing. Like a little bit of a, I don't know, a garnish on the name, of course. So Mackie is the name, but you can just remove the Y and make it silent. So it's kind of like the same thing with my name, with the H being silent. And it's a pretty unique-ish name. It's not pretty much crazy in more sense than one. But I think it's a really cool thing I got to do. And I decided to stick to my name. And it's a little bit of a fun name. It's not the biggest name, of course. It's not as big as, Shynock and Degon and all kinds of stuff. But I just wanted to have a cool name that has like some of my elements of my name with a little bit of garnish in it. So that's why I came up with Mackie. It is cool. It has my names. It has letters of my name. It is pretty cool. It is something unique. And I think no one has done it. Yes, there's a lot of people that say M-A-C-K-E or Y or M-A-C-K-Y, like that. But I wanted to have that name with a little bit of letter nuance. So congratulations. You already know what my name is and all kinds of stuff. So congratulations. You already know. So this is my tag, of course. This is the Waglass Foundation, which is, by the way, my uncle's doing, and he's been doing it for so many years right now. So many years. I bet you, like, the amount of years he's done, it's outgrown his gray facial hair. But he has done it for so many years. And listen, Uncle Michael, yes, I already dropped his name. Uncle Michael, if you're watching this on the Twitch stream and all kinds of stuff, I want to thank you for your work and all kinds of stuff. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for letting me do my work and all kind of stuff. You're a great uncle to me, and I love you, and it'll also be great. Also, when my room is finished, can I have an Xbox? Yeah, you're thinking to yourself, Akeem, you're 30 years old. Why you need an Xbox? Who said people are just like, less enough to go with Xbox? There's 40-year-old people that actually play video games, for God's sakes. I mean, 30-year-old people are playing Pretty Derby, for God's sakes, including me. Okay? Stereotypes are just, like, not existent anymore. So anyways, I kind of lost in track of it, of course. Anyways, back to the picture stuff. And I got a call. Hold up. Do I have a call or just, like, never mind. All right. Cool. Yeah, my Auntie Jamelia. Yeah, Auntie Jamelia. Shout out to her. She likes my stories. Pretty good stuff. And, okay, cool. Anyways, let's back to the whole thing. So this is like all the measurements and the stick. This is where the register, of course. And that is my Yondo Devon. I, by the way, sat. I think I sat right there. Oh, yes. This is the Port Antonio Rental Unit Committee. I think it exists. Let me just see. I think it exists. I believe it exists. And they do some work. I don't know what it is because I was kind of lost in thought. But there is something that involves like a lot of rent work, of course, in the area, which is a kind of like pool, of course. And then there's a few people there. There was a lot of people there. And there's, of course, the classes I went to. I went to 9N, way upstairs, the third floor. I did woodwork around here. I did computer studies way above here. I had classes here, of course, and then here. I kind of like have classes almost everywhere. I have classes in like 7J, of course, when I did my classes. Oh, my God, it's been a long time. I feel old. I feel a little old right now talking about this. Nostalgia. And by the way, where he's stepping is where we have our netball matches, of course. And then we used to have a basketball hoop, but unfortunately it's just defunct with our basketball team. So yeah, that is pretty much something. And of course, this is our register. By the way, this is where I get my register name, of course. And then there's all the tags. And of course, I have a little bit of an armrest, which sadly I have to throw it away. But I think it's a cool thing. We have the armrest and all kind of stuff, and it's pretty cool. And then we got all the registers and all kind of stuff. Actually, let me just give you 1 minute to make sure that we're gonna trying to make sure that we okay, I'm gonna make sure that we are live here and trying to make sure that the good folks are steady here. Yeah, there's more pictures of my uncle, magnificent, on the Instagram post. By the way, we're making sure that we are live here. Nah. I was going to do it, but no, don't do it. Don't do it. Anyways, I was going to do it, but nah, I just don't bother. Anyways, we continue. There's more registers, of course, we more papers. There's the bus. Oh, there is a health bus, by the way. We have the health bus. There was like a lot of things, of course. There is screening. Well, okay, not screening. Let me just make sure. Um, screening. There's a lot of screening units, screening for blood testing and all kinds of stuff. And they did it on a bus. So they did it every year, of course. Shout out to the bus people, of course. They did it every year, and then of course provided a bus. And by the way, for anybody who don't know, we did classes. And by the way, right beside it is where the science fair, of course. And we did and by the way, we had the science club and of course the math club, which by the way, I'm a lover of math. I would love to go to that club. Other side, I think I have classes in physics, of course. And of course, this is where the science department is. So, of course, and then in between the halls, and by the way, they have a full light, of course. In between them is where we have our classes there, our English classes there. And then, by the way, they just built a new auditorium, outside auditorium, of course. And it had a service for one of our teachers that sadly passed away, of course. God rest his soul. And they had an auditorium, and that was incredible. So, and there was a lot of people lining up. I think they did like CPR register. I think they were doing like a CPR register. So there's that. And then shout out to the cooks. Look at those cooks cooking up. I had saltfish, callaloo, and pumpkin and fried dumpling. Yep, that was my breakfast. And I have to say it was a really good breakfast. The fact that these cooks are actually done well in breakfast, it's amazing. So shout out to the cooks right now. Shout out to the cooks. They deserve a lot of love and they deserve a lot of respect, of course. I'm going to open up all the streaming services, of course, to make sure that I got everything unlocked and loaded. So we are making sure that we are live and in charge, of course. Yeah, so actually done well in breakfast. Yeah, I'm just trying to mute myself. I don't want to hear myself talking. Okay, so shout out to the cook guys. Shout out to all the cooks, of course. Anyways, by the way, that's the pumpkin that they did, and I believe there's like pumpkin, some yams, and all the kind of stuff. Oh my lord, that is a lot of stuff. And then the bananas, of course. Why not? Can't forget about bananas. And then, by the way, in the health clinic, of course, they have some beautiful, fragrance scents, your soaps, your eye mask. You make sure you don't get any bad sleep, of course, and you make sure you get a soups and all kinds of soap and all kinds of stuff. And your lab and your soap, of course. You make sure you gotta have a nice bath, of course, a nice fragrant bath to go and do all the kind of stuff. It's credible, to say the least. And of course, the tagline is "Your health and wellness matters." It's just probably like the theme for the entire day, of course. With the whole thing, it's like your wealth and health matters, and I think we are. I mean, consider that. Listen, 6 years ago, we went through one of the worst things ever happened in the entire human matters. It's that COVID-19 happens. And for me personally, it was a horror show. It was a horrible experience for me. And to be honest, I mean, my family's okay. Everybody was okay. Great. All the kind of stuff. No one got horribly sick and no one did well. We coordinated and did everything well. But the mental warfare, the literal mental warfare that I've gone through. Like, listen, let's be honest. Without Netflix and without television, I would be dead of boredom, let's be honest. I would have been dead of boredom, all kind of stuff. I would never got to watch Jane the Virgin or like The Last Dance. Of course, I would never get to do anything of that without Netflix and all that stuff. So first of all, thank you Netflix for providing me for the last 2 months of good content, of course, in the COVID. But also, I think the health and wellness is matter because not only is that your inner health is important, but your outer health, your mental health is pretty much important as well. And it's okay to speak up about a lot of things, to make sure that you are being like taken care of inside and outside. Do some screening, do some blood tests, all kind of stuff. It's really important these growing times, of course. And of course, we got more people coming in. We got, of course, the promise. Of course, it said to educate students totally, so that's the contribution effectively to the country's development and live harmoniously with others in the workplace through the discipline they exude. So that is pretty much the theme. Yes, and then there's like the buses coming in and all the people coming in to register, and then there's more people coming in and all the register, and whew. And by the way, there's a lot of course, students work. I'm just have to turn down the notification, people. I don't want any people disturbing me. Sorry, Andrew DeStefano. I love you, man, but unfortunately, I don't want any business tonight. Not tonight, sweetie. Anyways, there is by the way, some people actually work. One of my uncles, of course. No. Let's just make sure that I don't want to get the wrong information so that I don't want to kill myself. Yes. Some of the people are working, of course. There are some of the people might working. And then, of course, a lot of questions, of course. There's one of the watches, by the way. Oh boy, God. Oh boy. Oh no. Please, God. Please, God. So anybody who don't know, these are one of the smart watches. I have one. By the way, I'm not doing this, and I'm not going to show you guys the gloat, but I have a Samsung Galaxy Watch, which I'm going to put on right now. Not to flex on you people, but to also just showcase that, I have to make sure I be healthy. Your health and wellness matters, so I have to wear this watch because your health and wellness matters. Now, these watches are not the Galaxy watches. Far be it. They're like one of those cheap watches you find in the local store, of course, or Amazon, of course. I'm not disrespecting the watches, but I'm just saying that these are not the crazy watches, of course. And yeah, by the way, it's 223 by the whole thing. It's kind of flip upside down. But those are like the face of the watches, of course. And then there's another watch, of course. Different model, but same thing. And that is my uncle. That is my loud mountain uncle, sitting beside one of the volunteers. I did not even get her name, but even then, I just felt like I just don't want to reveal them. My uncle is a loud, cocky SOB, but he's my loud, cocky SOB. It's amazing. It's just wild these days. It's just absolutely wild these days. It's wow, the fact that this guy actually do the work, and of course, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, this is the Port Antonio rental unit bringing kindy care closer to home with dignity, access, and hope. And kindy, by the way, Mr. Holgate is pretty much the person who, of course. And yeah. Oh my God, I misspelled. It's renal. Renal. I spelled it with rental. What the heck, Akeem? Renal unit. Oh my God, I am just so horrible. Anyways, so the Port Antonio Renal Unit Committee, it's a fundraising initiative focused on establishing and improving dialysis unit for the patients at the Port Antonio Hospital. And let's be honest, I have been to a Port Antonio hospital once, and that's for checkup. And I have to say, it is pretty much weird that we don't have like dialysis and all kinds of stuff. And it's just weird and all kinds, and it's not nice. People with kidney disease these days are just trying to make sure that they're trying to live life, the fullness, and the fact that we don't have like, dialysis and all kinds of stuff is just disturbing. So I want to thank the PARUC, the PARUC, the people of PARUC to come here and just volunteer and all kinds of stuff and talk about like your kidneys are important, ladies and gentlemen. If you have some bad stuff in your kidneys, it is not looking good. It will not look good. And if one of your kidneys blow up, I mean, it is not looking good. I mean, and dialysis is hard to come by these days. Dialysis is really hard to come by, especially in hospitals. So it's important to make sure you get your filled out. You drink some water. I only drank water once today, and I have to drink one. I will do that after this whole thing. So yeah, shout out to the Peruk. And by the way, this is one of the members, of course. Shout out to Mr. Yeah, shout out to him. And there's a lovely, lovely nurses, of course, from I think they were coming from the school, of course, they come to. One of my church friends actually gone to that church friends, went to that school. She was a nursing school, of course. It's one of the nursing schools. And I think one of the nursing schools actually volunteer, of course. And yes, by the way, this is the Rights Academy Academic and Training Institute, which by the way is showing you offering for nursing and businesses and all kind of stuff, and they have like nurses training all kind of stuff. So shout out to the Rights Academy and Training Institute, of course, for all the nursing, of course. Shout out to them. And they came here, did all the work and all kind of stuff. And by the way, there's a lot of padding, of course. And by the way, there is the cosmetology school. Yeah, one of the cosmetology school talking about like your hair care and your hair care and your stylist and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty much important, cosmetology is pretty much important these days. Styling hair and taking care of hair and washing hair and braiding hair, all this kind of stuff. These are really important stuff. Like you gotta need all this kind of stuff and learning to make sure you run a barber or you run a hair salon or you run a nail salon. Those kind of stuff are important. By the way, I gone to a barber most of the times. I went to barbers most of the times. I went to hair salons most of the times. So I know these kind of stuff are important. It's really important to get the cosmetology get going. And I think it's the name is Shy. Hold up. Let me just see. Okay. Shylocks. Yes. This is yes, Mr. Shylocks. Yeah, so this is, by the way, this is the Shylocks School of Cosmetics, by the way. And trying to make sure I get this right. Yeah, I think I got this right. The Shy and the S is in there. Yeah, I think I got it right. So this is the Shylocks with the certification from the Hard Trust NTA, which makes sure we have the cosmetics. And it's really cool. It's a really cool school, of course. If you want your cosmetology, you go there. I highly recommend it. And then, of course, we got the Lions Club from Port Antonio. There's a lot of people register, of course. And then, of course, they have their eye screening check, of course. Make sure you got your eyes taken care of and make sure you don't, you have to, take care of your eyes and all kind of stuff. It's make sure you got your eye exam, of course. Yes, I know the YouTube stream is kind of lagging along, but got to stay with me, of course. You got to understand. And then you got your eye exam. And then, of course, you got people reading the information. Making sure you got to read the information, of course, to make... Oh, by the way, glasses. Lots and lots of glasses. You got to make sure you get your eyes checked, of course. And, of course, if you don't get your eyes checked, you got to go wear some glasses. Now, let's be honest. I had needed to wear some glasses because look at me with all those screens, Akeem. This is pretty much unhealthy even for yourself. So I never have them glasses. I do have glasses, but not like, reading glasses and training glasses, of course. My dad have reading glasses. My mom have those. And, as we go in age, eyesight are not good enough, of course. I can even read Unlimited, Echo Dot, and Jergens lotion from like way up there. But as we grow older, man, eyesight is just not good. So glasses are pretty much important these days. And then you see a lot of people, a lot of humbly seniors, pretty good humbly seniors, come in to make sure they get their glasses and all that stuff. And of course, there is a lot of brochures taken care of. And then, of course, a lot of registers. Of course, I think it's around like about 9, 10 a.m. that we do it. Around 11 a.m., of course, music was blaring, a lot of gospel music. It was Holy Thursday, so it makes sense. And then a lot of registers, of course. A lot of registering. Lots of check-in, lots of screening. Blood pressuring, of course. There's an old woman there. And then there's a lot. And there is a Rastafarian getting a screen check, of course. Shout out to these volunteers, of course. And by the way, this is the Rights Academy 50th anniversary. This is the 5th year, by the way, doing this. Ooh. Way to go. 5 years of the service. And they provide a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. Heart Trust and healthcare facilities. And by the way, American Association for Higher Education and Acquisition. American. Woo! That is some healthy stuff, man. That is absolutely crazy, crazy stuff, of course. And then, by the way, these are my uncles. This is my uncle, by the way. This is my uncle. This is Maestro, by the way. Shout out to Maestro. This is Prestige, of course, my friend. Shout out to them. The Maestro, my guy. He's my driver. He drove me home. He drove me here. He drove me home. My God, shout out to him. He's a good guy. Pretty good guy, of course. And, of course, my other friends, of course. And then there were more people coming in. It's around 11 a.m., of course, not as big. And then, of course, they were handing off the mic. They did like game show. They get like raffled and tickets and all kinds of stuff. And then, by the way, they give away a stroller, of course, for one of the ladies in need. So the fact that they actually give us a stroller with all the money is amazing. Shout out to these people. They have a great community. And that is it. And there's more testing, more stuff, more work from the right nurses, of course. By the way, this is my uncle's radio, by the way. Wagler's radio, by the way, which is, by the way, it's on Facebook. You can download it on the app, by the way. I will highly recommend it to download the app. I will, by the way, I could just, you know what, I could just link the description below if I have to. Let me just link the description below on, hold up. Okay, hold up. Calm down. Let me just link the description on both the Twitch and YouTube, so that in case you wanted to listen to my uncle's radio, you can do that. And also you can just download, of course, in the app. Just do that. And go here. Boom. And on Twitch. Boom. So that is my uncle's radio, of course. And if you want to listen to his radio, you just tune in, enjoy some music. He plays some songs on Sunday, of course, and you just have to entertain. So this is kind of like, I know there's a little bit of advertising, of course, coming in, and I know this is like wrong, but I just wanted to support my uncle's radio station and all kinds of stuff, just and give him some love, of course. And by the way, that's Mark, the guy who worked for me, and these are the people who trying to mix the tape, of course. Pretty much shout out to him. And by the way, this is the Rogless Foundation, Global Giving for Local Living. By the way, it was a crazy day. So I listen, no. Okay. But I'll tell you after this whole thing. So that's the Rogless Foundation. That was just him screaming on mic as usual, being his funny self. Okay, and then there's one of the women, of course, he's just trying to read the eye care, of course. And there's also some people just giving away a lot of help from the CASE Foundation, of course, giving a lot of people to some of the health communities. Some of the students from CASE, of course. I went to CASE for 2 years. It was a horrible mistake. Not a horrible mistake, but more like a it was not a good time. It was a fine time for me. It was not the great time for me. It was a fine time for me. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Let me see if I crashed. Hold up. Hold up. It's fine. Okay, it's just fine. It's fine. Anyways, let's continue. And then you got you see a lot of people going to CASE, and you got Lifespan Water, sweet old Lifespan Water. I mean, yeah, shout out to Lifespan Water for actually sponsoring this. And there's a lot of brochures, of course, to talk about health and all kind of stuff. Lots of brochures, like really lots of brochures. And then of course you got registered. You got a lot of heart monitors again, and then you got blood sugar measurement again, and then you got people from doing the volunteer work again. Of course, shout out to these people. They did the voluntary work for me. Some of them I don't know their faces, but I hope so. Yeah, shout out to these people. All these people who came here, do the work. It's incredible. Yeah, once again, my uncle is showing up with another person. And then, of course, one of the persons from the Jamaican Association of Administrative Professionals in the Portland chapter, which is actually, making sure that this is the persons that work in like health. Like, okay, just do your research before you stumble yourself. Just do your research. So these people are involved. Hold up. Wait a minute. Now, these people are all involved in the education of administration. And by the way, they have a Portland chapter, of course. And this is, of course, serving the secretaries and administrative professionals in Jamaica, maintaining among members of the high standard of proficiency and integrity. So yeah, that is JAP. Of course, this is a non-profit, non-secretary fund, of course, to socialize. And there are some people who actually got awards. So there you go. I did some real little research, of course. There's your information for the day. So shout out to the JAP, of course. And then there's a lot of members, of course. By the way, these are also members. And I just trying to find out the logo. But these are all the people who also come from the healthcare. Of course, we talk about there's a lot of posters. I saw one of these posters. I went to like the guidance counselor, and I saw one of these posters, man. I see these posters everywhere in the guidance counselor. It's amazing, of course. And right there, there's a lot of people speaking. Of course, one of the cosmetologists is speaking, and a lot of blood measures. Good food is waiting. By the way, I ate this chicken. This is beautiful chicken, and I ate chicken and rice, and that was like the only meal I have for the day. Yeah, the only meal I have today. I didn't eat anything else. I was going to save. I was thinking to myself, I would trying to go save that for like dinner later on. But I understand, like, hey, there was food running out, and I think you better get some food. And then on the other hand, I have to eat that food before it's gonna run out. So I have like no choice. Either let the food run out, or go hungry for the rest of the day, or just like eat. And I have like the eat origin. And then they got the nurses, of course, speaking. Of course, one of the nurses speaking on behalf of the Wright University. And then they got the lots of cosmetology. By the way, this little woman is my auntie. Shout out Auntie Lickle. Hi, Auntie Lickle, if you're watching this. Or she's not watching this, but I think, hi, Auntie. She is involved in like one of those, self-care. You know your self-care, of course. And by the way, it's the stress system checklist to make sure that you're not stressed out too much, of course, in the head care. And look at the school. Oh, look at this bird's eye view of the school. By the way, they use a drone for this entire thing. Look at all this beauty, by the way. There are some, not much people, of course, as I said, not much people. But look at all these people, all the tents, all the coverings. They did it in the basketball court. And there's a football field. There's a bounce house castle, of course. And there's a Lions Club, of course. And by the way, I went to one of the classes here. Right around here is where I did my classes. Around here is where I did my first classes. And it was absolutely a blast. And then, by the way, there's another one of those classes. I went to these classes, of course, upstairs and downstairs. And, of course, my uncle is down there. Some of my people are down there. My father is kind of down there, of course. And then another bird's eye view, of course. There's some cars, of course. There's the canyon, the famous cannon, of course. From there, there's cannons probably outside, of course, of the school, around the arch, of course, talking about it. Palm trees, and there's a beach, by the way, that we cannot go to, but there's a wonderful beach. And it's a perfect day. You talk about the perfect day for an event like this. Sunny, clear skies, virtually not a rain in the sky, of course. It's all beautiful. And just look at that. Oh, just look at that view. So many cars parked in. So many beautiful trees. Birds. Well, not birds in the air. You got the water. You got the trash can beside it. And you got bumper-to-bumper cars all over the face. Like side-to-side cars. It is amazing seeing all of those cars coming in. And then, of course, you see all that kind of stuff. You see the netball court. And you see the registration. And then you see another court, by the way. There's where we get our lunches, of course. There's a cafeteria where, by the way, I met one of the persons who did the lunch, of course. Shout out to her. And, that we got our lunches. We got our school lunches right here. Almost every day I got my school lunches in school. Every day. And shout out to her. And by the way, this is where we got our lunches. This used to be a home economics, by the way. We did home economics and, of course, music in there. One of my auntie teaches my school, of course. Thank God. I gone to school. It's a little awkward, let's be honest, having your teacher having your family member be a teacher, of course, doing the school. But we had to make sure we kept our family and our things separate. So it's kind of a little weird. I don't want to name names, of course. There's a cannon being painted up. There's our celebratory banners and all kinds of stuff, and there's our Titch kind of traditions, of course. But we did our home ec and our music, of course. There, our place upstairs is where we get our staff, of course, the staff. And this is where the principal's office is. I was trying to find the principals, of course, after this thing, but we couldn't find it, of course. And then we get our arch and all kinds of stuff. Yep, there it is. Look at that, the home of champions. And this is where the poster where the Titchfield 2025 team is. I'm sad we didn't win this year. Sucks. This is where upstairs, of course, and this is where all the principals, the former principals of the school came here. And we got air conditioners and the bell. Oh, that annoying bell, man. I mean, I know that bell so long, that clangy old bear. Like, I understand, like, tradition and all kind of stuff, but that clangy old bear, man, like, oof. And this is, of course, where they have, like, your understandable, their stuff. We did our math room. We did our maths right here. This room right here, we did our maths. And, by the way, I know you're not going to see this on the webcam, but I'll use the mouse. So we did our maths right here. We have the principals right here. And our teacher staff was right here. So we make sure we get our books and all the other stuff. I had to race here to get like all the stuff being done. It's wild. And then, by the way, around here is where the auditorium is, and it has an auditorium, our big auditorium inside, and we have a table tennis. We have a table tennis team. And I think right here is where we do our chess club. We had our chess clubs. One of my friends, Jermaine, was playing chess with me. This is where I learned about chess. And while I'm not as good as like your Sindarovs and your Hikarus and your Magnus Carlsen in the world, not even close to be honest, I get to learn about chess. Not as highly class, of course, to learn about chess, but I learned about it. Some of the ramps, of course, when you're like, in case the stairs are not good for you, you can just use the ramp, of course. It's kind of cool. They have a new design, of course. All those stairs I have to walk through. It is a pain to walk all those steps. But then again, I walk all those steps here to my home. So it's like, it is what it is, I guess. And by the way, I kind of pseudo went going from walking and then driving to school sometimes. So I kind of like learn the things. And of course, there's a roof of course, on our heads, and then the satellite ditch. So, and Wi-Fi was not great this year. I mean, for all of these things, lack of Wi-Fi. Like, I cannot believe a school this old cannot even proper Wi-Fi. Like, come on, man. This is where, of course, where all the registers come in. A few people, of course, come in. That's just the register tent. And, of course, these are some of the people. Like, all the men in here. All the men are getting their math handicap. Woohoo. Oh, no. Oh, no. Jesus. Ooh, is it okay? Oh, I don't know if it's okay to show it on stream. I don't know if it's okay to show it on stream. Jesus. Oh, okay. Whoa, okay, Akeem. Okay, calm down, Akeem. We do not want to offend a lot of people. There's a lot of children watching this. Especially at nighttime. And I do not want to get Twitch banned or streamer banned in some cases. But in case many people don't know, they are learning about their breast. And I have to speed through because we do not want to get canceled here. Just want to speed through. They have to learn about your oh god, no, I don't want to get canceled this early. Come on! I haven't done that cringe streaming yet. Come on. All right, so okay, some of the men came here and they want to learn about so this is of course where we get to learn our organs, our productive organs. And of course, this is where we get to learn about breast cancer. And it's not just the ladies who are getting the breast cancer check, it's the men. We men have to check our breasts pretty sustainably. And yes, I can't believe I'm saying the word breast, but I have to say the word breast because I think it's important for the health. Remember, this is a health clinic, guys. It's a health clinic. It's important to take care of your health. And that is my principle. The guy with the headphones and the cool glasses, that was my principle. I can't believe the guy's like 40 years old and he still have headphones. My God, it's like what a dude he was. And of course, they talk about the principles and all kinds of stuff. And you can let them feel the breast. Yep. I know it's embarrassing. Okay, back to the bus. Yeah, there's a mobile screening, by the way. Back to the bus. Back to the glorious bus, everybody. There's the bus, of course. Right here is where we have a computer room, of course. They had a computer room right there. I've gone there every single freaking day to like research my sports, to learn about all the stuff, all the kind of stuff, all the crazy stuff I've done. And there's a chicken. Ladies and gentlemen. I will give you a minute to like salivate your mouths and just go wild. Yeah, okay, it's been a minute. And these are the people that actually cook the food, of course. Shout out to these people. Wonderful people, of course. And there's a chicken again. And shout out to him. Really good stuff. Lots of stuff. And there's a black and white version, of course, like Michael talking to the kid. And there's another stuff, of course, and a little prick finger. Yep, there's a lot of pricking fingers, of course. And then a lot of interviews, of course, with the stuff. And yeah, I believe that's it. That is all the photos that we have. Yeah, that's literally all the photos we have. Yeah, we ran out of photos. We literally ran out of photos, except one photo, guys. We were down like we were at we. By the way, did shout out to the Caption Media International for taking all the photos, of course. I by the way, my uncle and all the people went to the whiteout party and the gala, of course, a couple of days ago. But I did not go, man. I was beat up and exhausted. I was exhausted after that day. I was literally exhausted that day. So if anybody don't know, this, of course, was on the post. That was me. That was literal me. Literal me in my watch and my name tag and my hat backwards because I'm like kind of like Ken Griffey Jr. in most cases. And by the way, Ken Griffey Jr. by the way, you know, is 30 years old and still wearing that backwards cap. I think he's 40. He's literally like, I think he's 50. Yeah, he's 50 years old and he's wearing that backwards cap. If Ken Griffey Jr., who does photographs and does all these things, still wearing his cap backwards, why can't a 30-year-old guy like me wearing cap backwards? I just try to make it cool, guys. I just try to make it cool. Ken Griffey make it cool, guys. So I'm trying to make it cool with the hat backwards. And that's not the only photo, by the way. Oh, sorry, I think it was Bixby talking to me. That was not the only photo, by the way, that I had. Where is it, guys? Where is it? That was not the only photo that I have. That was not the only photo I have. Hold it. Hold it. Where is it? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, yep. That's me. Yep, this is me. This is literally me. That is literally me. Yeah, holding my tag, showing all of my name, getting some clicks, some wonderful stuff. And I did it, you know, showing kids what the watches are for and the, you know, the benefits, of course. I gave away some of the watches, of course. And by the way, I will also show you this, by the way. I got, and it's not a gift, by the way, but I got the friendly writing tablet. This was not part of the whole thing. And by the way, this was right on my desk, of course, right on my desk when I work in, of course. And when all the watches are finished, and all the health monitors are finished. And by the way, it was 4:00, so we have to like skedaddle out of here. So it was after 4:00, and then yeah, so it was 4:00. We were going home, and then we saw the tablet still there, and I said, "Hey, you can just keep the tablet. I don't mind." And yeah, it was a cool thing. Okay, make sure I'm gonna get my tablet here. Hold up, Akeem. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Oof. Okay, yeah. So I got trying to show you a photo. Trying to show you a photo. I'm just trying to show you a photo of the writing tablet. So I tried to show you a photo of the writing tablet that I have. And yeah, it just go kapooty. I can't try to share it. But I do have a writing tablet, and I did use my writing tablet to show you. Hey guys, remember the Broken Blade Shen play that I show you, of course, my short? That's why I use my writing tablet, and I think it's a pretty good use for. I should use it more often, of course, in the future videos. Hopefully, it's a really good writing tablet. Of course, I think my parents said they're going to use it for work and all that stuff. And by the way, I did my work. I woke up at 8:30 a.m. Came in, do my work, do all the hours, and I never regret it. It was such a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time for me, seeing all the people's faces, learning some of the, like, I don't know much of the names, be honest. I never met some of the people I know, some of the people I don't know, but to meet them and to entertain them and put smiles on my faces and all this kind of stuff, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. So to all the people who come out and volunteer and showcase, I want to thank you all, guys, and to my uncle Mark and all the people who come here, thank you, Wagler's Foundation, for giving me all the love and support. It's a wonderful honor to do it. Yeah, so that is my day in Titchfield. That is literally my day in Titchfield. It was a fun time. It was a fun blast to do. And yeah, it was something else. It was absolutely something else. But it is time, of course, for all you come here to waiting for. It is time for me to pretty much give you the worst commentary you ever have in a League of Legends standings. I'm gonna get some water right now because I haven't drank in a while, and then I will tell you about our two matches today for this week 2 of NACL. Like, yes, okay, in the NACL, some of the matches are already gone, but this is just gonna be me putting my commentary spin on this. The party don't start when I walk in, okay? The party don't start before I walk in, okay? Anyways, I will take some water break and I will come back and talk about the NACL. Just a minute. Okay. Calm down, music. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Just trying to make sure we got the audience in here. We still have the one audience in both Twitch and YouTube. We are keeping up with our peak concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for coming in and to do all that work. All right. So, in case many people do not know, we got the stand-ins for the very first week of the NACL. We got Blue Otter, CCG, Maryville, Supernova, and NRG on top with one win. And then Sentinel Gaming and Apex, Mission Impossible, Dorado Gaming, Conviction, and Winthrop University are all on 0-1. It's a long season, of course. Lots of League of Legends to be played with. And by the way, this thing is going to run until August, which is going to be like, oh, there's going to be a grind. There's going to be an absolute grind, of course. But it's a long season away. And we're going to kick off week 2, by the way, with Apex, Mission Impossible, and CCG versus Maryvale versus Blue Otter. And both of these teams, by the way, Maryville and Blue Otter have a win. Of course, CG also have a win. Apex trying to win at first. And there's only 2 games, of course, throughout each day. So that's good for me, keeping up with my schedule. There are 6 games, of course, this week. And here's a lineup, by the way, for CCG. We got Fiji, Darduch, Ajun, Cody Sun, and only 35. Oh, by the way, I forgot a little thing. I did my 3 stars of the week for each NACL player. So let me just do that. There you go. Oh, yeah. So not much numbers and not much stuff to go on, although I can say I would love to do all the numbers and stats for all of these things, but I think that'll be a waste of time, of course. And then, by the way, by the time I'm finishing this, there's like more League of Legends with LPL and LCK and all this kind of stuff. So doing all of this in those, reasonable amount of time is just too much. For my 3 stars of the week, I go with Munchie in the jungle for Blue Otter with a goal 19, 3, and 11, the 10 KDA. I go Zamudo with top lane 6, 1, and 10 at 16 KDA. And only 335, who, by the way, is going to play right now on the support with 1, 4, and 24 with 6.263. I don't have any more information in terms of damage and kill participation, but those are like the rough numbers. And I think for Team of the Week is going for Retro Zing, which, by the way, is going to be playing the first game today. So we got the 3rd star of the Team of the Week versus the Team of the Week in terms of the worst performing player of the last week. So the question is for Retro Zing and Apex Mission Impossible, can they approve? Or can they, by the way, seek out their first win? As we get to the Apex lineup, I think we have a relatively new name. Oh, yeah. We have our, we got Brio, Bio, Retro Zing, Good Boy, and Protoss. I think you noticed that we don't have Good Boys Cameron anywhere or any other stuffs. But that's the lineup for Apex Mission Impossible against CCG in our week 2 of the NACL. So, and we have our head-to-head matches, our big head-to-head matches, in which Retro Zing did not have a pretty good performance, of course, last week. Like Aerogen CS is pretty much good in its places. His damage is also good. His KDA was more brilliant than Retro Zing. 2 unique champs, both of them unique champs, and in the versus, 52% to 21.5%. It's early days, of course, between these two, but to showcase these stats, to just showcase how great one player is from another. And I believe the predictions have CCG winning. Both Rafa and Beatdown Boulevard, casters for today, by the way, not casters for this stream, picking CCG to win. I believe that CCG is going to win. I think the way Apex played in that last series is just not looking good. Also, shout out to Beatdown Boulevard with all the, the cool wallpapers we have. We got JoJo Bizarre Adventure. I can see the JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Persona 5, of course, a little thing, of course. Shout out to Mr. Beatdown, of course. And now we begin with the series as a whole. It's potentially a 3-game series. And by the way, 1.5 speed again to make sure that we move along, go with the times. And as we can see, if we can just move the draft here, we got a Karma Israel, which is going to be really, really annoying versus the Ash Seraphine. Oof. Karma Israel versus Ash Seraphine. That's a really tough matchup to call. It's a really tough matchup to call. I think you could say that in terms of pushing lanes and all that stuff, you can favor the Israel, of course. But But in terms of global ultimates and all the kind of stuff and changing the whole game, I think you can say that the Seraphine Ash is going to be really powerful later on. And you got an Anivia facing off against the Rise. I think you could say that the Anivia is more potent because of the CC and the walls. And it's going to be in favor of Rise, of course. Dr. Muno and Nocturne is going to be a tough matchup to call. Nocturne with the global ultimate, of course. So does the Rise. And I think those global ultimates are probably going to punish like the bot lane even more. And by the way, Cassante versus Gnar, I think it's more heavily in favor of the Cassante once it's like past a certain point, like a couple of minutes. But yeah, I'm thinking like a CCG draft. And for anybody who don't know, the way I'm speaking right now, you feel like, oh, I can't be an expert in this. No, I'm not an expert in this. I'm just like observing the draft, watching, and just having a good time. I just here for a good time, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not analyzing anything like that, but I'm just going to here for a good time. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we like to kick off week 2 of the NACL spring split right now. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We are entering the rift, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, CCG looking boisterous after their last week's win, taking on the Apex Mission Impossible that needed a spark, just needed something to do well. And already with a little bit of a stun early on. We got the good note. We got the take notes emoji from the MSI 2021. Probably the worst tournament I ever watched, or the worst tournament ever to be assembled. Meanwhile, Rio just took the Crocs away, and Darda just looking absolutely horrible and put up the well play hard emoji. Meanwhile, he's now gonna go that. So Muno's gonna get like the blue buff, of course, and Darda just trying to get like the Raptors and he's trying to get like one of those Raptors, and he's trying to move into the red buff. Meanwhile, Karma Israel, Good Boy and Protoss got to push in the lanes, of course. Cody-san in 365, and then Cody-san is just using the E to trying to locate. And then Bio is hunting the red, and then now he's going to move into the Krugs. There you go. From red to Krugs, utilizing, trying to early farm his way. Meanwhile, Darda just taking the Wolves. And as you look at the runes, a lot of movement speed and the runes, of course. Darda just coming in. Meanwhile, he's going to take the Grump and probably going to take the blue buff. Mid lane is kind of even, of course. Retrozing is doing lots of damage. And now Bio is coming in and trying to fight with the blue Scuttle. And now they're fighting for the Scuttle Crab. Oh, Scuttle Crab's fighters are not good enough. Not good enough. And I think Bio's pretty much dead. He's got to use the passive. But now Bio's striking back. Darda just really much not in the world. Mega Dog's going to come in from Aldorado. Retrozing is trying to come in. This is going to be a hell in the ass basket. Egg is being scrambled by Retrozing. And a first blood being taken in the bot lane. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Proteus with the first blood over Cody's son in the bot lane. That I told you, the Ashe, the Karma Israel bot lane is going to be really potent in this game, and it shows. So you saw the pressure from like the mid lane and the jungle, and it shows by getting the first blood. But I never expected the first blood to be bot lane. I mean, I want to know what happened in the bot lane, of course. But I never expected the bot lane to be the first kill, especially on the support. It did not go on to Good Boy. Of course, it gone on to Protoss, which is not the worst news, but the first blood in a bot lane matchup like this is huge. Absolutely huge. And now Bio is going to take the Wolves, trade into the Grub, and now transit into Blue Sentinel. He's going to do that. There you go. And meanwhile, top lane is having a big fight right now. Fiji and Ariano has a big fight in the top lane. And too much to go crazy. Although Fiji's doing a little damage. Meganar is coming off. And Ariano will have to walk away and have to well, no, he can't walk away. The wave is pretty much in a bad state. Fiji's going to do damage. And Fiji trying to cancel the waves. So do Ariano. And unfortunately, Rio's coming in. Big suitcase coming in. Fiji's getting sniped. Force a flash. And right now, top lane is a pretty sticky situation if you're a CCG. Meanwhile, Good Boy is dodging all the shots in the bot lane after getting first blood, of course. And only 3-5 is looking absolutely worse for Ware right now. He's going to force to go into the jungle. And if you look at the XP plus level, you see that our June is having the time of his life. So do Artenio, of course, in the top lane, but it's early days, of course. Yes, I know the stream is looking like this, but I'm doing this on a whoa cab. And unfortunately, Dodge stole the dragon and take his life and take Rio's life with him. Bio is now dead. What a massive steal by Dodge. And Retrozing trying to well move his way, but unfortunately he can't do that. And now he's getting walled, then being flashed in. Well, how you like that sequence? Dodge used the Nocturne ult, and meanwhile, Cody-san is not looking well right now. He's gonna get dead by Good Boy, which he does. And now Bio is surging around Dodge into the red buff. They're fighting for the red buff. Who's gonna get it? And his smite goes to Dodge. So far, this game has been really chaotic. CCG got the Chemtech Drake, then got the kill, and then once again, the Cody's boy Protest bot lane is just absolutely strong right now. Cody-san is 0-2 on Ashe. It's not looking good. When you're 0-2 on Ashe against the Israel Karma, it's not looking great at all. Absolutely not looking great at all. Meanwhile, the top lane is looking absolutely worse for wear. Meanwhile, Retrozing is trying to do anything. And, of course, only 3-5 is trying to support. Dodge is getting all the grubs. All 3 grubs are now belong to him. And so far, the game is in pretty much an even state right now. So while the kills are coming in and while there's a lot of pressure, nothing too much as the ball lane is going to switch to go to top. And Arteano's out having a good time. I think the Ashe arrow still is up. And there it is. The Ashe arrow is up. And then a little bit of damage right here or there. And goodbye, Arbriario. There you go. I said about the Ashe arrow. I said the Ashe arrow was coming in. There you go. Target on the Mininar, not allowed to do anything, and there's another kill. So the game is back to being even. Meanwhile, Bio is doing absolutely worse right now. And unfortunately being pushed out. And then, of course, being Hawkeye, stopping the recall, which means more time for Cody-san to get the plates. So all of a sudden, after a really bad bot lane matchup early on, you get a kill and get some plates, and now being right in the mix. Only less than 400 gold down. And around 10 minutes going on. Not just hops away. Really, really tough stuff against the 2 mighty bot laners. And a lot of damage being taken out. The question is, will it take a turret? And the answer to that is pretty much no on the side of AMI. And unfortunately, Dardar is trying to search for Ariano. The Meginar is limited out. He's going to find him. Turn off the lights, slashing and dicing, and oh my goodness, nearly dead to rise on the arrow. Nearly dead to rise on the arrow. But that means that I believe the first tower goes to CCG. Yes. CCG takes the first tower. And if you look at the Samstar economy, it is pretty much like that evening. Top is pretty much minuscule. Bot and support is pretty much large. And then, of course, you got jungle and mid is kind of large. But the gold clap in the bot is down to 200 gold, which is huge given the composition. Now, the Dodge is looking for a dragon again. This is the second dragon. It's Cloud Soul. So, Chemtech and Cloud Soul are gone. Maybe Infernal Drake. Cloud Drake, of course. Could be good. Hextech Drake will be nutty. Absolutely nutty with all the damage just slow coming in. So, let's see what it could be. It is Hextech. Well, we go. There you go. So, Hextech is on favor right now, and it's going to be massively huge damage for the Cody-san and the only 36, of course, 35, of course. Cody-san will be beneficial about it, and Nivea is beneficial about it. All of them are beneficial about it because of the slows and all kind of stuff. So, it's now 2 drakes and none. And, of course, Librario just showing the briefcase. The bot lane just came back from the top lane. And, True Sharp Barrage nearly kills only 35. Meanwhile, Dodge is doing a great job on the red buff. And he will take the red buff, of course. And wonder, did you stop the recall? He did. And Retrozing just stopped the recall, of course. The mid laners are not doing anything much. Meanwhile, the bot lane is getting a lot of action. Ashe is pretty much pouring on the damage. Cody's son is doing all the work. Little heal by Seraphine. And I think that was a flash. No, it was more like an arcane shift. Bio is pretty much dead to rights. And, nearly did not even get the recall. But, unfortunately, Protoss is pretty much stuck in no man's land. Bio trying to come in to relieve the pressure, of course, to make sure that the support will come back. And it is. So, Cody's son comes back. And looks like Protoss is coming in safe. Okay. Retro Zing is actually being cooked right now. Oh, forced a flash. Arju put in all the damage, of course. Put in the wall, put in all the damage, and forced a flash here. Now Protoss have to come in and cover his mid lane, of course. But just look at the damage. Look at the AoE damage on Nivea. That's just incredible damage, of course. Meanwhile, Rift Herald is already spawned, of course. And, oh my god, Protoss is not long for this world, and he nearly got chunked. Half of his health getting chunked, of course. Meanwhile, Doddage is taking Rift Herald. He's taking Shelly. And so far, a slightly by CCG. CCG having a really good lead right now. And consider that the Nivea scaling and the Ashe being online. It's going to be a really tough thing for AMA to win. So while the early game is pretty much like favor AMA, the map control and the scaling is pretty much in favor of CCG in the later run. As you can see right here, Ajun is trying to take a second tower, trying to open up the map, of course. You know, and only 3-5 is coming in. And there is a shot to stop the recalls. Only 3-5 stun. Cody's boy, good boy. As we're down to 35 seconds until Drake. This is a soul point for CCG, of course, if they get it. And meanwhile, Adriano is just giving Fiji the work here. And he's still getting poked, of course. Dragon is already spawned right now. The question is who's going to be on Dragon. Fiji, Doddage is already arriving Dragon. Bio just arrived here. He is going to lose his shield. Now 2 people are getting chunked right now. Seraphine ulti. Brent missing the encore by just inches. And now they're all clumped together. All the CCG members are clumped together, of course. But that pretty much forced out of their hands. The fight is now literally over. They took the blue lane. Protoss is nearly dead right now. Bio is pretty much like fighting. Of course, this is going to be a smite fight. This is going to be a huge smite fight, of course. And a lot of damage being poked. A lot of poke, of course. A poke and poke. And then Fiji just slammed Bio into the ground. Then a lot of agile rolls. And of course, Shelly, of course, they used for battle conquering purposes. Retro Zing is in an absolute cook right now by Fiji. Arbor with a revenge kill over only 35, but that was just the end of the good news. It is now 2-for-1 in favor of CCG, and mid-tier tower is gone right now. So once again, the game control belongs to CCG. And also they got Hextech Soul coming right up. So the game is in their control, their hands, of course, for the next 4 minutes plus. So there's a lot. You notice that like 2 items spike for Cody's son on like Bork and Hurricane, and then of course you got Good Boy with like Trinity Force Mana Rune. Probably are gonna be like a chance to get to like 3rd item, of course, if they can. While June is taking the tower, of course. Another tower being destroyed. Oh, Brio is getting slowed, of course. And that means no wolves for them, no wolves for Brio. Is what it is. Wall kind of stopped the inevitability right now. Meanwhile, Gnar in the wall brilliantly work. A little charm, of course, but Doddage escapes. Doddage pretty much escapes. How do you manage to escape? An amazing charm. An amazing job by only 35 to save the Kai Wing, from absolute disaster. The timing was really much during the rise, and then the only 35 encore just absolutely saved the fight right there. Like if you look at all above the goal, the lane economy, like CCG mid and jungle are the reason why this game has stayed up like this. It's pretty much where the gold comes from, and this is pretty much where all the strengths of Apex Mission Impossible lies. So right now at 22 minutes, the game is basically even, although CCG with almost a 3K goal lead is doing fantastic work. Mid lane is gone, top is gone, bot is gone. They have not captured the second tower. They are 1 minute away from getting Hextech Drake. And AMA has no choice but to fight. The question is where you have to go. Like trying to take down Cody's son, that's pretty much the obvious. But the inhibitor wall is going to stop you. Cassante is going to stop you. And it's going to be really, really tough. And of course, Encore, with that one really Encore, is going to change the entire fight. So Apex Mission Impossible have no choice but to go in right now. They have literally no choice but to go in. And a lot of poke, a lot of damage, of course, coming from the Ash. They're just so timid right now, AMA. So timid right now because they know that one bad fight and this game over. Meanwhile, Drake is taken by CCG. Drake is literally taken by CCG. Lights have been turned off. And Easy does it for Daughter to take the kill. And unfortunately, the slows and all the Hextech soldiers coming in. What a brilliant ult by only 3-5. 3 people getting absolutely charged, and Fiji's on a rampage right now. A lot of arrow being shooting right now. A huge shutdown. Yes, they kill off Cody's son, but it doesn't even matter. 3 people dead for 1, and I believe that it's going to be mid tower and maybe, just maybe, Baron. Yeah, they just control the objective pretty well. Pretty well, not allowing the opening that Amy impossible. But they couldn't get the Ash. I mean, they couldn't get the Ash until it was too late. And of course, the team fight was amazing by CCG. So now they have Hextech, of course, and we look at the precision play again. After they got the Drake, they got a chart. They got a little bit of stun, of course. Little flash play, and then a massive shutdown. Onto Good Boy over Cody's son. And unfortunately for AMA, I have some bad news. The Baron is pretty much likely gone. I think the Baron is gone. There's no way AMA is going to come for it. They got to have to defend their whole base. And there you go. And of course, unless something crazy happens, a Mission Impossible is trying to get into CCG. So this is more like right now we're in the Eden Hunt situation of this feels like impossible, of course. This feels like a 1 in a million chance right now. True Sharp Barrage trying to clear the wave. Did not even work. And we all mid lane is pretty much kicking down, of course. CCG is playing a really controlled game right now. Really controlled game. From virtual start to a virtual finish. Really controlled, manageable game. That is mid tier 2 gone. That is bot tier 2 gone. They are slowly suffocating the England. They are so suffocating right now. Bot tier turret is gone. Oh, and June just absolutely destroyed Bio like it's nothing. Nocturne comes in. Pretty much a little bit ult. Double kill on Mr. That's game. That is literally game. Yeah, can you believe it? That is literally game. Game 1 was over, and it was a controlled, methodical siege by CCG. That was incredible work. That's incredible work. I think that Fiji deserved to get play. I believe that Fiji deserved to have. I don't know. Where do I go for player of the game, by the way? I think my player of the game is, I don't know, but I think that the fact that Cody's son recovers from that absolute atrocious 0-2 start and then set up the kill, set up the game, and then do well. But I got to go with 0-35 again. I have to go to 0-35 again. On that Seraphine, he was amazing. Clutch moment, including that big team fight to win the game. Let me just see. Yeah. 0, 1, and 10, which is a 10 KDA. Absolute incredible stuff. Incredible stuff by Only 35, who put up another great performance on the Seraphine again. An amazing performance. Amazing performance by him. So now it is time for us to hop over the game 2. By the way, let's look at the graph first. Because, my God, this game was like petering out to like evenness, of course, slightly in favor of AMA. And then it was like for 10 minutes, it was lost. And then it was kind of beating up and even. And then it was risen to heights it never gone to. The fact that this game ended in almost 28 minutes just show you how controlled and methodical CCG is. And now it's time for us to game 2. And there's a modified jungle, for God's sakes. Mel in the ball mid lane against Victor. I think is pretty much favoring Victor, of course. Corky Nami versus Caitlyn Bard. I'm thinking I'm going with Corky Nami on this one. Pantheon versus Malphite. I think we all know Malphite is just like one AoE stun away from like controlling the fight. Meanwhile, Dodge is just pretty much a big global ultimate. And you got Fiji in the top lane playing Skarner top against Abreu facing against Raynatan. Like top lane Skarner. Now we saw Skarner in like jungle, but top lane Skarner like absolutely unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. So I believe it is time for the second game of the Rift. CCG leading 1-0 after a fantastic, surgically methodical game 1 in which they pretty much control the Drake setup, control the objectives, and never let it go. Even after Cody's son having a really not so good bot lane early on, to control the methodical brilliance of like taking all the Drakes and then the fights and then the setups were absolutely brilliant in game 1. So shout out to that. Meanwhile, Bryo and Doddridge are fighting over the Raptors. Big Raptors is coming up next. And Doddridge got it. He's now level 2 right now. And Bryo is not having a good time and he needs to get away. And also Retro Zing had to get away as well, and then he got striked. So yeah, pretty much mid lane is pretty much in favor of all your Jen, and you can see the annoyance on Mel, by the way. By the way, Mel is now officially like the most hated champion in League of Legends, which I think there's some right and wrong reasons, of course. So I would love to talk about it, but I don't think I have the capacity to say all these kind of stuff. So Bio is taking that care, of course. And Fiji's coming in. Battling with Abreu, of course. And then the Rave is coming in. As we're about to hit this lull moment, I wanted to say thank you all for coming to the stream. It's like, you know, I'm not going to do this like every night, of course. I'm not like one of those nightly people, like all the coach streamers, like your Kajos of the world. It's hard for me to do with all these things going on. But thank you. But listen, thank you for coming and enjoying the stream with me. It's a blast. And I hope you have yourselves a good time. We are currently 2 hours into the stream. Currently 2 hours. And by the way, this is me watching NACL. This is gonna be only NACL. I don't think I'm gonna do any more league unless I got co-streaming rights, which I don't have. Which means that I'm gonna be watching NACL and watching all the talent and then talk about all the talent and then admiring it. And I think talent is important in North America. As you know, there's a tweet talking about like the important import talents. We are seeing a lot of talents being imported in North America. And I don't like that. I do not like that. For the sake of like talent and all the entertainment, I just want NA talent. I just really want NA talent. I already said it, F winning now, and I mean it. I mean it. I said screw winning now. Just give me some talent. Just give me some talented players. Look at goodbye. Goodbye, first blood, and then a 1 blood back. Dardage with the first blood, and then Retro Zing strikes back with the first blood of his own. Darda, massive kill, of course, with the help of Arjun, did the first blood, and it was a battle over Krugs or Raptors. I think it was a battle over Raptors. Just look at it again. I think it was Mordley battle of Raptors. Yep. So first blood gone, and then Raptors Wing strikes back on Pantheon to get an even kill scored, of course, at 5 minutes in. Ball lane is doing absolutely fine. Kaylin is doing work. Meanwhile, Corky Nami is just, using the poke and the bubble to trying to clear the wave, and they did. So the game is even, of course. But how did that first blood is going to affect the whole nature? Meanwhile, Abreu and Fiji is having the most wet noodle of all wet noodle fights, of course, early on. And too much going on. Meanwhile, mid lane is also having a wet noodle fight. And Brio taking the Scuttle Crab. And Good Boy, of course, going roaming alone. And he's all alone. Oh, getting chunked by Cody's son. Getting absolutely chunked. Meanwhile, Brio is coming in, trying to take out his Raptors, and unfortunately he fails. The Raptors are gone. And unfortunately, this is not looking good for AMEA. This is not looking good for AMEA. Or is it? No, Retro Swing with a massive kill. Then John get a kill back. And then Mel with a double kill. Retro Zing on the Mel is doing all the work in the game too. And you can hate the champion all you want, but when somebody plays that good, you just have to admire it. Meanwhile, Cody's son is just poking a lot of damage on the Protoss right now. Forced to use his recall, and then forced to buy another health gem. Meanwhile, only 35 is coming in, and Beaway at the top lane, pretty much nothing in these cases. As the grubs are coming in, the void grubs are coming in. So it's 3-2 in the kill scored. Amy with a slight goal lead, of course. Who's gonna have control of the first dragon? Cody's son is looking worse for wear. I believe that's gonna go to Mr. Bio. We saw the push in the bot lane, the control in the mid lane, and the top lane is kind of like whatever. So it makes sense for the first Drake to go for AMEA while the other just taking void grubs. Raptors being taken by Dardich. Meanwhile, Dardich trying to protect themselves against Protoss. And then trying to Remlord. Oh, brilliant knock-up. Remlord, knock-up, and Retro Zing is on a heater right now. 4-0-4 on the Mel. And unfortunately, Protoss is just having not a great time. Got killed right there. And that is the end of that. So a little bit of oopsie by Protoss, of course. Meanwhile, a one-on-one battle is already taking place. 10 minutes in, nothing too much to write home about except one Drake for AMEA, slight goal lead, and 3 grubs being taken by CCG. And unfortunately, Fiji's not having a good time. Good Boy nearly killed him. Meanwhile, Dodger just looking for the Caitlyn. Oh, nearly done it. Nearly done it. Good Boy was nearly dead to right. Have he would have landed. Have he would have landed, he would have been dead completely. That means more towers for our Brio. Apex Mission Impossible are doing well better in game 2, of course. They're doing a well better job in game 2. But this CCG game is not going to play it with. But with Retro Singh actually playing like a god right now, having another kill. 5-0-4. 5-0 and nothing. 1.4 KDA early on. It's like, oh my god, here goes the magic journey. And I think the journey is about to end. Goodbye, Cody's son. Goodbye, Artemis. And Good Boy is not having a world. Bubble blended. Pops, flash, force to flash. A little late on the calendar, but Yes, Cody Sun is literally dominating this lane, and I said it. The top, I think Cody Sun is going to be absolutely huge for this. Um, um, it's huge. It's pretty much huge. Meanwhile, Cody Sun is trying to do something. Only 3-5 is all alone. Modified OD is close to up right now. I think it is up. Right now, mid and bot lane is having a pretty much an argument. Top lane is pretty much evening out, of course, in terms of gold and CS. 694 for R Brio. Dardo to 710 over Bio. 1.4 Biozing over score 131. And by the way, I was going to say the dragon is a spawn, by the way. And shot down. Yep. That's going to be Drake for Apex Mission Impossible. And I believe BI just stole the crumbs. And unfortunately, Protoss is dead again. Meanwhile, RetroSync is actually dominating this game. 6-0-0. Absolutely brilliant. Meanwhile, I think the Pantheon just uses global and just saying, get the heck out of here. Mid lane is being pushed in, of course. RetroSync is coming back. 5-0-0 on the mill. That's just incredible early start, of course. Incredible early start. Meanwhile, Protoss is once again being jumped out. RetroSync with the damage, forced to use Zonias, and now, of course, everybody gonna run. And everybody's thinking to myself, what is the kind of damage? Of course, what is the kind of damage that Good Boy Bringer or RetroSync? I wonder how much damage RetroSync has the entire game, because that is an incredible mill early game, of course. Also, we're at the 6-7 number, by the way. Haha. 1 tower for CCG, 2 drakes for none. It is Chemtech's soul. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, not the greatest soul, of course. AMEA is trying to do his best to wrangle this a game 3. And so far, I think it could be a game 3 because, of course, the Corki Nami is going to be pretty dangerous. Kyrie is going to be Richardson will be a beast, by the way. And he got the 2 fronts of like Brio and Bria. So it's almost had that feeling of like, I'm not sure if they have damage items to defeat him. Oh, wait, I think I read the wrong guys. Skarner with a tank, I think it'll be fine. Pantheon, who just now have Black Cleaver, is going to be strong. I think you can say that Nami Bubbles are Nami Bubbling, and unfortunately, there's a wave is gone. Dodge is on a rampage. That is a massive misstep on the end. And meanwhile, it's going held in a handbasket right now. It's only 35 got the kill before Brayo did the damage. Now it's back to even right now. Around 17 minutes in. And nothing doing. So 18 minutes in, of course. Kills are even. The Drake's 2-1 in favor of Apex Mission Impossible. If you look at the replay again, you just see that how the fact is 1v1. And then only 35 when the match to kill. And now we're going back to live. Rift Tower being spawned in the mid lane. And a couple of shots being taken, of course. Too much spectacular. And bang! On the Rift Arrow. Meanwhile, a lot of poking, a lot of screaming in there. Nothing too much to grind home about. And unfortunately, ult for ult. And then, I think Man Fafa just gone in there. What is he doing? What is he doing? Dodge getting both kills, of course. and then mid tower is Yams, and now they're gonna take their Drake and probably sack Soul. What the hell was Bio thinking? I mean, what was that, Bio? I think he's trying to get the ulti in, but unfortunately, like, yeah, even he knows. Even he knows it's stupid. Even he knows it's stupid. Meanwhile, Fiji's garnered in right to the wall. Arbrio is in pretty big trouble. He's in really big trouble right now. He needs to use the magical journey, but he doesn't have a journey home, and unfortunately, he is dead. Abreu with a huge Abreu get killed by Fiji, and that's a huge kill. Well, not huge, but in terms of goalie, they need to stem the bleeding. It is now a 4-3K goalie. It is not as huge, of course. But at the same time, it's almost had that feeling of like, we have a bigger goalie than you, and we might scale our way to victory. That's pretty much the only thing I can count about. So Apex, so CCG denied a soul stacking from Apex. Retro Zing, who's on fire right now, 6-1-0. He's taking care of the pool. And so we're now in the low state, of course. As we look at the goal economy. And we're not in the low state anymore. We're not in the low state. Temper Fate, of course, trying to kill away. Only 35 with a massive kill, of course. And now, meanwhile, of course, a big fight. Huge kill, of course, with a massive K-Link kill. Now there's 4 people right there. Big trying to smite. Oh, no. She's trying to do the ace shot. She's trying to do the ace shot, and unfortunately, that did not even work as Victor's grand ultimate surprise just got bigger and bigger, of course. And my God, what the heck happened? What the heck happened? So, Retro Zing, wow. So let's look at the replay again. Only 35 just killed our Protoss. And then a little bit of melee damage, of course. Huge shutdown from the Caitlyn. And then while the Caitlyn did the headshot, of course, the ultimate headshot, he got killed. And so does Atomic. Yeah, I know. That is what happens when you don't know the names at last, I guess. I am mumbling myself. Sorry about that. It's not easy. And look at that chunk of damage. And June is having a great time, of course. He needs a flash in. And unfortunately, Cody's son just killed Abreu. And now it just feels like the CCG Cup is pretty much online. Huge Nami wave. Arjun is pretty much on a rampage right now. He's having a baller of a game right now. They're going to take Baron. I don't think that AMA is going to do anything. No top laner is gone. Jungler is almost like 12 miles away. I do not have a good idea of if this is a risk. AMA is taking this as a risk. They got a magical journey out of here. And unfortunately for AMA, this is now officially CCG's dragon. And it's now 2 dragons to 2. I mean, the stacking of those dragons is going to be massive. Absolutely massive. It is now a 6K goal lead as it took Baron, as Aogen is trying to work away in the top side. And they will take the top tower, the second top tower, of course, being taken. They're pushing into the third top tower. And oh my goodness gracious. So let's just try it again, of course. Started with a huge thing, and Bio went in, and unfortunately he kind of got out. Goodbye. And then, oh, what a snipe! Cody Sun is absolutely on a killer speed. And then the good boy is not long for this world. He's about to get gone. Goodbye. Sniping in. And then Protoss is a little bit worse for wear right now. But right now, I just feel like this game is end. This game is going to end pretty much in a 2-0 in favor of CCG. And that's it. Yeah, a methodical. Well, okay. They're trying to protect the wave, but unfortunately, he doesn't. Arjuna's having a perennial game. Aprayer was down. This meld has been so decent all along. Cannot do it. And CCG with a clean and comfortable 3-2-0 victory over AMI. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff by CCG, of course. Now, I will have to give my player of the game for this. Let me just see. Let me just look at my player of the game. So, 5, 3, and 7. I will give it to Doddridge again. 5, 3, and 7. This is 9, 3, and 6. This is 9, 3, and 7. 9, 3, and 8. 9, 3. So 9, 3, and 8 go to Doddridge. I'm gonna go with Doddridge. And by the way, he has like 5.7 KDA. Okay, so I believe we're gonna get to our 3 stars of the series. Of course, is we're now finished. And by the way, look at the game. Jesus, I think that is brutal. Look at the graph. Like AMA finally got a little bit of a lead, of course, and then it was gone, flipped, and then it was a little bit gone, and then it was gone. It was gone. And I think this is like the same thing with like what happened in game 2. Game 1 feels like it's a kind of a close game, and then it wasn't. The control was pretty much good, and Fiji gets, I believe he gets the series, the game of the series, of course. I think, my opinion is mine. I think Daughter deserved it. But I think I think Fiji deserves some love as well for that game 2 performance. Yeah, he deserves some love on the game 2 performance, of course. And 1-0-11 on the Skarner. I think he did well. I think he did huge. I think he did massive. You know what? I think you're right. I think Fiji deserves some love, of course. And now for our 3 stars of the game. I will go with only 35. I will go with Fiji. Actually, no. Doddridge. No. I think Doddridge deserves some love. I think Doddridge. I go with Doddridge. Fiji. Only 35. Now I got the roll of the stats, of course, I'm going to go to our good friends at gold.gg for some stats, by the way, of all for the matches. And to make sure that I don't go crazy myself. And by the way, there's another league going on, but I'm going to focus on the NACL, of course. Okay, so by the way, there's going to be plenty more games. So that means I'm pretty much going to cover my hand, pretty much make sure I don't spoil everything. But you're probably going to see the score lines, of course. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So let me just look at the stats and see which are my three, which are the stats. I think Dardo deserves some love. 10, 3, and 14. Which is an 8 KDA. Fiji 5, 0, and 14. Go, brother, going deathless in the entire game. You go deathless in the entire game. That is just amazing, especially for top lane. And nothing here, and only 3, 5. It's gonna get 3, 3, and 29. And my team of the series, I said I think it's Bio. My lord, Bio did not have a great series. Bio for AMEA in the jungle went 0, 10, and 5 with a 0.5 KDA. So not a great start from AMEA. And CCG, to the credit of the analyst and including myself, predicted a 2-0. Nice and clean, nice and simple. Okay, I think that is pretty much done for the first series, of course. We got another series in our hands. We're going to talk about Marvel versus Blue Otter in a Titanic clash, of course, of two really good teams, two really good tier 2 teams. And I think they are not going. Oh, wait, they're not going to break. Okay, so they're going straight into the action. They're going literally straight to the action. So, okay, we got Maribel versus Blue Otter. Of course, I'm going to make some tea, and I'll come back for games 2 of this series. Catch you on the flip side. Let me just mute my mic, and away we go. Okay, I'm back. I am back, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, we got another matchup in our hands. It is Maryville University, fresh off of winning Division One the tournament, versus Blue Otter, who are looking for, a statement win against probably one of the best teams in the NACL we have of date in Maryville. And this is the lineup, by the way, from Maryville, in case many people don't know, is Kea, Yuji, Spirex, Scary Jerry, and Obstinatus. These are pretty much the most scariest guys we've ever seen. And for Blue Otter, their lineup is Ariana, Munchie, Samikin, Spawn, and Rovex. Munchie is, by the way, our first star of the week, of course. So yeah, major stuff. And this is a major clash between these two teams, two prominent tier two teams facing each other, and it's going to be absolutely fun. And I think they put in the focus onto Munchie, who had an incredible first game of the series. 17.9 damage, KDA 19.3 and 11, 59.2 kill participation on average. I mean, it's only first game, but what a performance in last week, of course, he put on last week. And I think we got to find out if he can do it again as we go straight into the draft. Now, I know what you're thinking. Akeem, you should, talk about draft, picking all kinds of stuff. But listen, we're not going to waste time here. We're only going to be here for like a couple of hours, and that's it. It's going to be only 2 games, and then tomorrow, if I have, we'll do another one. And yes, I know there'll be matches going up and talking about it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, is that Master Yi? Oh my goodness! No. Let me just play it again for the reaction. Let me just turn on the volume and just go for the reaction. And just go normal speed for the reactions. I just wanted to hear the reaction because I want their reactions to be my reactions as well. Wow! Master freaking Yi! I mean, sorry about the language, by the way. Master Yi in the year of our Lord 2026 is being picked. Like the guy, listen, the guy won the first star of the week, on my opinion, and now he's playing Master Yi. Okay, brother. Okay, brother. Like I said, we are showcasing some talent in the North America region, and we're going to showcase some talent tonight, and we are showing some flashes. Holy cow. Listen, hey, listen. If this didn't work, and listen, anybody, by the way, who are watching this right now, if anybody is seeing this stream, and if Master Yi does work, I want you guys to clip this whole thing, highlight it the whole thing, and then just showcase it to some of the Reddit posts. I maybe have to do that. Of course, I'm probably the only one doing it, but I'm probably gonna record it, stream it, and all kinds of stuff. And it's just wow. And I know this is like recorded last week. It's a VOD review, of course, not a but holy cow, I have not seen a single Master Yi play in any of the regions that I've done covering it this week. Any of the regions I've done and even watched. So for Master Yi to be pulled up like this, brother and sister, Munchie, my God. Let's see how it does. I mean, if you look at composition, this is more like a dive composition with, mostly the Ambesta and the Master Yi coming in. I mean, the Seraphine ulti, and then the Oriana Obol ulti, and of course we got Israel and Leona. What the hell? Okay, then a little stun action, of course. Little CC chain, a little engage action, of course. And then you got your pokes, of course. Your Pantheon coming in. Your Victor is going to come in as well. Your Varus and Karma, of course. And then you got your Rumble. Rumble just kind of come in and try and do clear the waves, do all the damage. And my God, this Master Yi and Blue Otter is just going against the mighty Maryville University, and they're stunned. They're stunned as I do. I'm up right now. I am up. I am woken. Because of this. I'm ready to do it. Let's see if the Master Yi is going to work. If that works, my God, everybody in NA solo queue is going to be flipping out by this pick. He's gonna be flipping out by this pick. And now we're gonna see if this is gonna work or fails miserably. But I said it's gonna be like he put his entire, his grapefruits on the table and saying, "I'm playing Master Yi," and like, damn, all right, this kid has balls. I give him that. So we don't know much about Master Yi. Let's be honest, I don't know much about Master Yi. I play a little Master Yi on my Wild Rift, of course, but in terms of like the knowledge of Master Yi, I don't know much about it. Of course, we all know about his, his self heal, of course, for a couple of minutes. You self heal, it's not negating damage, and then of course you have an R when you kind of like slash through, of course, with him the champions, and you got his passive. So I think Master Yi is pretty much a pretty good champion, of course. And oh, by the way, I have to go 1.5 speed again. But for him to pull that off is just amazing. Absolutely gangbusters, of course. So, yeah, for him to actually do that is incredible, of course. And now Master Yi is taking the Raptors, of course. He's now transitioning. No, not transitioning to the red buff. Mostly transitioning to the red buff. He's not going into the Krugs right now. My God, Master Yi in 2026. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And now UG is trying to take over. He's taking the Krub right now. And he's got the Krugs right now. And right now, Spawn and Rovex are in really big trouble. Yuji is really hunting for this kill. Although there's red, wars are coming in. And now he's trying to get the Spawn, force a flash, but now Munchie's gonna come in, slicing and dicing, getting a lot of stuff. And first blood goes to Master Yi. Can you believe it? Scary Jerry gets the kill on the blue Spawn. And unfortunately, he'll die by the hands of the turret and blue Spawn. So now 2 for 1 in favor of Alter, and a turret killed by Obstinius, which means it's execute. So 2-1 in favor of blue Otter. Munchie getting first blood. And wow, that was incredible action, of course. Scary Jerry gets a kill. Sprague gets a kill, of course. But Master Yi getting first blood is huge. How huge, we have to don't know, but this is huge. Wow. So a lot of action in the bot lane, of course. And Yuji with the incredible stun, and then of course Israel came in, and then Munchie comes in, fly in, did his damage, and and he got a first blood, and of course another kill, of course, comes in. So a little bit of damage, of course. And the RMs are coming in. Yuji is coming in, of course. So there you go. A lot of crabs coming in. And now we got a flash, of course. All right, 6 minutes in. Pretty much lots of action so far. I'm still stunned about the Master Yi pick and the first kill. I'm still enjoy, of course. But Munchie wanted to make it work, and my God, Munchie's making it work right now. It's a long, long game, of course. The game is not about like the early game, of course. The game is about like how the late game going. And by the way, we have another viewer. Thank you so much, viewers, are coming in, of course. Coming in, sharing my good time, watch my cringe, all the kind of stuff. It's pretty good stuff. Showcasing NA talent, guys. We are just showcasing the next future of the NA talent, of course. Right here, right now, on your little Twitch station. So don't that dial. Please stay here, have a good time, drink with your friends. It is 10 p.m. Eastern time if you're listening to this, 9 p.m. in Jamaica time, of course, and unfortunately the viewer is gone. So yeah, pain. Anyways, sure. Yeah, so Ariana's is coming in right now. One viewer just look at this thing and they're saying, yeah, this is not for me, and I just left. Can't blame him. Anyways, Oh, Spawn is coming in right now. And now the Void Guards are coming in. So it's just only 3 kills so far, 8 minutes. In terms of gold check, Munchie's having a slight lead. And here comes the Pantheon coming in. Oh, a little bit of a stumpable by Artemis. Pretty good self-perspective. Meanwhile, the big Oriana ball trying to get the spawn. Spirix is pretty much dead. And a 2-1-for-1 kill from Kay and Arena killing each other. Meanwhile, Munchie's going to come in. He's trying to do something. Yuji is not out long for this world. Here comes the jungle, and Munchie's get a second kill over Yuji. This Master Yi is looking absolutely cooking right now. He is cooking right now. Meanwhile, big stun onto Revix. Stun by the Karma. Big shots, little poker damage, nearly dead, and unfortunately Hiccup spawn, shooting and dicing and wheeling, but unfortunately cannot do anything right now. And right now, it is a pause, and everybody's going quiet. A spawn cleared the wave, and a little damage, of course, by spawn. Meanwhile, Ariana and Kay is fighting for a rivalry, of course. Ariana with a massive 1v1, 1-for-1. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, as we showed in the replay, Spirix is pretty much trapped. And my God, the 1-for-1 and sadly the tower damage and the aggro pretty much not juggling, of course. And then Munchie clean up the mess and pick up the kill. And now he is going to Dragon, of course. And there you go. 2-0-1 on the Master Yi so far. I know I'm raving on the Master Yi, but my God, what an incredible stuff. Arianas, of course. So right now, pretty much even game. And no. Goodbye. Spawn with a massive killable Obstinius. 3 people coming in, a little bit stunned. He is done. And now Munchie with the speed, of course, trying to search and unfortunately realizing this was a bad idea. And he just walks away. So yeah, nothing too much to go for. And right now, the ball lane of Karma and of Israel and Leona is doing all the work, of course. Almost 1,000k goal lead on the Israel on spawn. Now remember, the 2 games that I watched ended around less than 30 minutes. So if Maryville is not careful, this game could go spiraling out of control. And I think Master Yi is not like the best late game carry, to be honest. I don't know much about him, but I think you can say that Master Yi is not a strong late game carry. So I need to do my research, by the way. I need to do my little research, of course. Game is in a low state, so thank God you know to talk about it. Yeah. So it pretty much says that highly vulnerable to crowd control, weak early game dueling against heavy CC, and lack reliable controls. So in terms of the composition that we've seen right now, we are seeing a Pantheon and like a Varus, like the R, but that's pretty much it for like the CC damage. So there's like not a big crowded cage other than the Varus under the Pantheon. Even then, that's not even good. And oh my goodness, Austinius is pretty much dead right now. Big ulti by the spawn, pretty much killed. And yeah, Austinius is not having a great time right now. It's not having a great time, but right now with the Pantheon being behind like this, not farly behind, but pretty much behind as we look at the lane economy. Huge bot lane, of course, in the bot lane. 1,000k goal lead into Scary Jerry. Despite the fact he's 1-1 and compared to 2-1 on the spot. But I believe the Scary Jerry is going to do a lot of work. I think it comes from the plates. Yeah, I think it comes from like the turret. So I think that was the first turret being taken place down. And that's pretty much where the goalie stands. And oh, goodness gracious. Nearly dead. Samkin nearly dead, and now Munchie's gonna come in. He's gonna flash. He's gonna ulti, and then down he goes. And now he and Yuji are gonna fight, but unfortunately he's giving the thumbs up and goodbye. 3-0-2, 1.1k goal lead in the jungler. He is looking fantastic. But this is a team game, of course, and right now Maryville is on a slight goal lead. So what can they do with this advantage? Maybe Shelly will be the answer. Meanwhile, big ult. Right now. Munchie's getting the kill right now. And goes my Ostanias. But now here comes the TP, and the TP looking actually stuck. Double kill by Munchie right now. Double kill by Munchie on the Master Yi, my lord. Oh my god. I can feel the NA solo queue shaking right now watching this. NA solo queue is literally shaking right now. They are shaking their boots. Holy cow. Just don't know what to do right now. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable stuff we're witnessing. And now Master Yi is going to do something, of course. So right now, of course, we are seeing pretty much a great performance right now. Munchie's having an absolute brilliant performance right now. But the question is, does it relate to the team victory? Right now, Yuji will take in the Camcheck Dragon, 17 minutes in. It's an even game, to be honest. Despite Munchie's great work, even game because Kai in the top lane and Scary Jerry having massive goal leads. So while this Munchie is pretty much doing all the work, it's pretty much a team game, and Maryland is doing all of that. Yes, the kill score is not looking great. But as long as it holds steady, as long as it can scale pretty good, I think they can have a chance to take down the Master Yi. Late game is not his friend. And unfortunately, so does the rest of them. You can see the damage, of course, by Sparix pretty much early. He may be 0-3-0, but he can put up some damage pretty much in the late game with some items. Now Shelly is pretty much belong to Maryville University. Unless Rovex and Munchie is going to fight for it. And right now they're going to have to fight for it. And now, unfortunately, Ariana is trying to clone in. And no one's taking Shelly. Magnificent. So a lot of fighting with Shelly, but nothing doing. Here goes Rovex on TP. And so far, Munchie's gonna take the crab, and I believe that Shelly's gonna belong to Blue Otter. I think the pressure is gonna get to them. A lot of recalls coming in, so I think he's gonna say that Munchie is gonna take Shelly, and there you go. Massive. Take some towers coming in place. As the Rift as the Baron is about to spawn right now. 20 minutes in. 9-2 in favor of Blue Otter. Slight goal lead. Close game, of course. Ariana's trying in, of course, with Spirix. Spirix is doing a lot of work. For an 0-3-0 guy, he's doing a lot of work. Goalies in favor of Munchie. But the top and bot goalies are going to be the reason why this game is even right now. Blue Otter is having a slight lead, of course. 2 minutes until Drake. Both dragons each. Hextech Soul, which is going to be massive. Massive for both compositions. Absolutely massive for both compositions. Mid lane is the focus right now. As a lot of wave cleaning, of course. A lot of wards being taken down. Pretty much important to take your wards. And top tower is a little worth for where. Munchies have to find out where you have to put in. Maybe he's going to go into bot lane. Meanwhile, Samkin is pretty much thinking right now. Kay is clearing all the waves, and he's pushing all the waves. Samkin could be a really scary person. Meanwhile, Spirix is doing all the work. And they're not thinking about Baron. They're not thinking about Baron. Do not do it. Don't do it. Don't risk it for Baron. Don't risk it for Baron. The game is still close. You cannot risk it on a Baron right now. Not right now. I don't think his damage is pretty much good. He's got a Gwen suit and a Kraken Slayer, of course, with some mobility, with some pretty much control boots, of course, some heavy control boots. So gonna make sure to stop the crowd control and all kind of stuff, which is pretty much important. Now Hextech Soul, now with the pushing in all the lanes, I think Hextech Soul could belong to them. They're trying to control the river. And a stun force a flash by Barracks, and now the Rift Herald is going to come in. Shelly's going to pretty much charge into the mid lane, and that will be the first tower there. There you go. Lots of money in. And he's going to take another charge. So 2 charges and a lot of money. That's huge for them. And they'll probably going to take the dragon. So Blue Otter take the dragon, and now it's a slight goal lead. They'll bounce to more to like I said. Oh, still even. Yeah, still even. So it's still even. 0.5k goal lead right now. Ariana's fighting right now. They are fighting right now. And now Spawn is going to come in. Oh, Ostanius nearly died. Like, he nearly got stunned, of course. Game is in a low state right now, but this is really intense. Soul points coming in at 340 remaining. Red get the control of the crab. The question is, how will the composition... Oh, there we go. Arianas is pretty much dead right now. The big ulti by Sparix. And he's under the tower, and Ariana is dead. Meanwhile, the rest of the team will come in. Munchie's trying to do something, but unfortunately he cannot do it. Rovex is trying to do it, but it only clears a ward. He's probably going to stun Ann, trying to stop the recalls, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to do that. So Ariana making a massive mistake, of course, in the top lane. He did not miss the ulti, and unfortunately got punished, of course. And now Marivel is slowly crawling the game back in their goal favor, of course, at 1.6k goal lead at around 26 minutes. Against Barracks, maybe 0-3, but he can put up some damage. He's got Leandres. He's doing all the work. And now Munchies is pretty much dead. And now Yuji is doing the work. A lot of dead, of course. Munchies is pretty much dead. Scary Jerry with a lot of dead. And now Marivel is showing their teeth. Double kill onto Scary Jerry. And now it is Baron. And I believe this is where the Blue Otter comp is about to fall apart. The Blue Otter comp is pretty much falling apart right now. And the pressure is getting to them. And that is Baron going to Marivel University at 22 minutes. And I believe that I just do not think Blue Otter is going to win. Right now, I think Munchie knows it. That was probably your 1-win condition, and I think Munchie kind of sent it right there. And look at the replay. Lots of stunts, of course. Munchie went in, of course. And then Israel ult, and then the time, and then Scary Jerry with an absolute damage. The pole conversation, the CC that I mentioned about, not too good for the Master Yi, and he got absolutely punished. And now they get Baron, and now Marivel is going to really assert their game. The game is now 3k goal lead, but I feel like the competition is pretty much in their favor right now. It is pretty much in Marivel University, unless something miraculously happens to Blue Otter. It is not looking good for Marivel right now. It is not looking good. And unfortunately, not looking good for Spirix, but unfortunately, he can escape. He put up the big chaos, and unfortunately, Munchie died again. Oh, no. Big ult by Pantheon. Ariana is cooked in. He is trying to get out of here, but unfortunately, Spirix once again, he is coming back after a pretty much start. He maybe, again, 1-3-2, but he put up so much damage. He put up so much damage, of course. To call the chaos and all this kind of stuff. And now mid lane is getting absolutely punished. And I think you can say that mid lane, bot lane is getting absolutely punished. Scary Jerry is doing all the best to try to take down the mid tower, but Spawn will not have it. Trying to clear out the Baron power minions. And there you go. I think they'll push the lane, and I think they'll take Hextech Soul. And now it's 2 Drakes to 2. And right now, we're at the point is like the game is pretty much scaled into Marivel's favor. Yeah, scaled into Marivel's favor. And it's 3.3k in the goal lead for Mr. K. And Ariana's not having a good time. Oh, Jesus. Scary Jerry is like on killing spree right now. 4-1-2. 2.7k goal lead. He just dwarfs the entire team. And now bot lane tier 3 is pretty much going down. Spawn is trying to clear the wave, but unfortunately he cannot do it. Munchie's trying to do his best, but I don't think he's seeing wave clear. I don't think Matty is a great enough wave clear guy. He's not a good wave clear guy. And it shows. So right now the kills are even, but it's now a 6.6k goal lead. And it's looking dire right now. It is absolutely looking dire. So the question is what you can do right now. Oh man, as I said, earlier, this is a team game right now, and Maryville is playing like a team. I mean, Master Year was getting all the kills early on, but the entire composition falls apart when he's down. And by the way, beyond Master Yi is like Oriana, not too much. Like Ariana just literally let me down. Ariana just literally let me down in this series. This game, by the way, and it's just not a great Ambessa performance. Not a great performance by Ambessa in her standards. And 117 until Baron, and once again he's gonna probably get caught, but unfortunately he escapes. That is Yuji using an ulti for pretty much nothing here, and which actually could be helpful, of course, to Blue Otter. There's an angle in which they can come back from it. We don't have like Tex Soul. The game is 31 minutes old. There is a way by Blue Otter can win it. There is a way, but it's gonna be a long way, of course. But with his Victor being powerful and all kind of stuff, and Scary Jerry is looking scary, pun intended, and Kai is doing all the work. And also, wow, look at that emoji. I love the emoji by Kai. It's going to be, and I said it's going to be really hard. Look at the poke. Oh, Jesus. Look at Scary Jerry's poke. He's putting Spawn to the work right now with all that poke. I don't know what he's going to do right now. And Ariana is pretty much dead again. She is dead again, but close to dead. But she's not going to be a part of the fight. Samkin is pretty much cooked. Scary Jerry put him in the base. And now Ken is about to do the work. Flame Spitter probably in there. Munchie's doing his best. He's doing his absolute best, but unfortunately, got killed by the Baron NK. Got killed by the Baron NK. And unfortunately, Scary Jerry is looking absolutely a beast right now. Spirix with his finishing touches. Ostanius with the kill. And now another Baron, and I think it's game. I believe it's game. That is literally game over. The entire game was over by the moment Munchie died the first time. Once Munchie died the first time, this whole game was a wrap. But most importantly, Ariana kind of let them down in the game. 1-5-1 on the Ambessa, not good enough. Not a great performance. It was not a great performance. And Munchie tried his best, but unfortunately, top lane is not doing well. Your mid lane is not doing great. And the entire team falls apart. And Maryville just showcased the class and the composure that they have to utilize a comp like this and then showcase the work. It is a fantastic performance by them. Using the scaling comp, using the poke, using the range, and doing all the work and using all the damage to overwhelm Blue Otter. It's started off slow, but then now it shows you the damage that Spawn is pretty much like done right now. And yeah, it's pretty much not looking great. Oh. Rovex is doing all the work, of course. Yeah. So another poke, pretty much big damage, of course. And Rovex is once again being dead. He is not having a great time. I think that's bot tier tower gone, and probably mid tier 3 is gone as well. Here comes the minions, and there goes the tower. And now probably inhibitor is on the table. Yes, inhibitor is on the table. He's gone as well. And now they're probably going to rotate to mid tier 2. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, Rovex is trying his best. Rovex is trying his best, but he's getting chunked out. And Izzo trying to clear the way, but I don't think it's nothing to do. And with 21 seconds left on the Baron, they're going to try to take mid-tier 2 with the Canada minions, which they don't. So, mid inhibitor is still there, which is actually a good news for Blue Otter. But that's pretty much the only good news I have for Blue Otter. It's 4-8-08 remaining, and now it is Hextech Soul for them. But even then, I feel like we're down to like one team fight away from this game to end. It's going to be tied down to one team fight to end the game. Top is overwhelming. Bot is overwhelming right now. Scary Jerry is looking an absolute beast. Spirix, who have a not so great laning phase, is doing decently work on the damage front. I think my MVP is going to Scary Jerry. I think the guy did all the work. Of course, keeping the game pretty much simple. Locking down the Israel. Locking down Munchie, which was a huge play. One of the biggest plays of the game in the Baron. Probably the biggest play in the game. And now they're trying to find K, but unfortunately he got stopwatch. And I don't know if you're going to stop him. You might going to kill him, but unfortunately he is still flame spinning, and he is not dead. K just spits everybody on the fire. And right now, 2 people are dead. 3 remaining. Yuji's gonna come in. Spawn is not looking great. Rolfex just got chunked. K's coming back and pretty much like saying, yeah, I'm gonna burn you guys to the crypts, and this game is pretty much over. It is over, ladies and gentlemen. 38 minutes, an absolute grind. Munchie put up his best Master Yi impression, but unfortunately it was not enough. And Yuji with a massive kill, of course, and that is the game. Maribel with a massive game one victory. They're trying to kill Semki in the end, but yeah, done the breaks. And of course, the Nexus falls. So, vetted ever by Munchie trying to make this game work, but unfortunately, Blue Maribel just absolutely being so classy, so brilliant, and just constantly, you know, constantly, play the game well. I have to say my MVP is got to go with K. I was saying that Scary Jerry did all the work, and of course, unfortunately, Ariana kind of ended this up. But I will go with Scary Jerry. I think his kill on Master Yi was a major difference. Once the Master Yi just dies, it was always curtains, of course. So I will have to put him as my MVP on the Varus. And by the way, let's see, 6-1-7. 6-1-7, by the way, with a 13 KDA, and that is it. Okay, so I had to give Munchie credit for experimenting with the Master Yi. He did fine, 5-4-2, but unfortunately the late game and the composition kind of fell apart. And of course, Ariana just absolutely had a stinker. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You can't win them all. And brilliant performance by Maribel, showing the class, showing composed, showing why they're the best team. And if you look at the whole damage charge, like look at Scary Jerry, 38.6k damage was absolutely amazing, showing all the poke, showing the damage. Brilliant work by him, of course. And if you look at the graph, by the way, it feels like the game was evening out. It was petering even out, and it was Blueville having something. But once the Baron took over, and once that huge kill of Munchie and the rest of the team follows, it was scaling up to like oblivion, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I believe that's pretty much the end of the Master Yi experiment for now, and I think we're going back to normal drafting, and which we do. So game 2, of course, is going to be a Corky Nami bot lane, a Mel in the mid lane, and a Fairy in the jungle, and then a Jax in the bot, facing against a Poppy by Aurora, Ash, and Seraphine, the classic Ash and Seraphine. I think this is pretty much like, in terms of like the whole thing, I think this is pretty much favor of Blue Otter and feel like engage a lot of CC, of course, with the Poppy engage, with the Vi engage, with the Ash arrow, of course, with the Seraphine Encore, all of that engage, like CCs and card control, all kind of stuff. For this, it's pretty much simple. There's a little poke, it's a little engage, of course, with the Fury and the K. I think you say that UG and K is going to initiate the fight. Scary Jerry and Obstinius will trying to like, poke them down with their damage, of course, and Mel, just being Mel, of course, reflecting all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I think that's pretty much in favor of Maribel in terms of like all the damage. And pretty much after what happened in game 1, I feel like Maribel's gonna pretty much win this series. But maybe we might get game 2. We might get game 3, but in terms of time, I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna have some tea and then come back for game 2. Just let me make some tea. chocolate tea with mushrooms tonight. That is pretty much how we set it up. And my god, my battery is pretty much cooked. Okay, so right. Just charger, and there you go. Okay. Nice and easy. We are 3 hours into the stream, and I believe this might be the last game of the night. So the question is, can Maryville actually close this out, or Blue Otter have something in their sleeves? My answer after that first game is pretty much no. I think Maryville is just too much for them, too much class, too much experience for them, and I believe they might take over this series. So we'll find out what happened right now as we see the rift open up. Summoners are in, and we're ready for action. Little cat and mouse game, of course, between Scary Jerry and Quintus, who, by the way, Scary Jerry is my MVP for the first game, and I believe he performed pretty well. Oh, but Munchie and Munchie and Yuji are fighting over the Raptors, and now Samkin is trying to help. I believe Yuji got the Raptor. Let me just see. Hold up. Who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got it? I think Munchie got it. Yeah, I got Munchie got it. I think Munchie got it. Munchie got it on the spite. Incredible work. So that is still level 1. And meanwhile, Arias, who having a stinker of the first game, doing some work on the Jacks. Yuji right now on the Munchie. And by the way, we're close to 10 p.m., which means I have to like lower my voice down. So yeah. Yuji right now is doing work on the cliff. Arias, of course. Semkin is doing all the work, of course. And Spirix, of course, doing the work in the mid lane. And right now you got Corvex, of course. And then now both of them are poking right now. Both of them are low damage. And no. Carrie is pretty much going to be dead. And now Spirix is nearly dead. Oh, this is going to be pretty disastrous. A Blue Otter. Both kills go their way. Bot lane is getting pushed. And goodbye, Mr. Samkin at the first blood. And Spirix get the first kill. Oh, no. That's not good. That is just absolutely not good right now. So, Spirix with the first blood. Bot lane is getting pushed in. This is just, it's a hell in a handbasket for Blue Otter right now. Munchie's trying to protect Samkin in the mid lane. But right now, with the first blood going to Spirix, it's going to pretty much it's not looking good for them. It's not looking good at all. And Munchie will get the red cap. Meanwhile, Kay and Artemis is still having a fight in the top lane with the Poppy. And Yuji is trying to look for Munchie, trying to steal some grumps. And I believe he got it. No, Munchie still got it. So Munchie got the ward. And meanwhile, Ariana is doing work on the K. K is still there. Both of them are fighting right now. Health advantage going to Ariana. Bot mid lane is pretty much like Samkin is having potions. He's rubbing potions right now. This mid lane is not looking great for Samkin right now. When you died first and then have to use potions, it's not looking great. It's not looking great at all. And now Kay is now surrounding the tower, taking out the wave. Dragon and Spawn is it's an Infernal's Drake, of course, to start off first. And no. Munchie is pretty much dead. Munchie is cooked, bubbled in, and now Spirix with another kill. Munchie, man, that is just not it, man. He's just gone away. Meanwhile, Ariana and Kay are the fight. Nearly died for May. Spawn had to do something right now. Spawn had to be the big hero right now. Nearly died. Force a flash in. And Maryville University are up 2 kills to none, and it's not looking great. 1.2k lead. K Ariana is still fighting right now in the bot lane. And the wave is pretty much in favor of Blue Otter in the top lane, Ariana. But now it's back to even at this point. But now Spirix with 2 kills in a row. That's not good. Huge moment in the series right now, in the game. And right now the mid lane is pretty much in mostly favor. 800 goal lead already. Scary Jerry has a Right now, the bot lane has to do something. This Ash Seraphine has to do something right now, or it's going to be cooked. They can't afford to pretty much do that. And now to reflect, and now, of course, more damage. This is just absolutely brutal. And now, of course, Kay is trying to do work on Iron, but nothing happening yet. Nothing happening. Meanwhile, oh, no, 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 no. That's a huge shutdown. Huge shutdown with the help of Munchie. Samkin with a massive shutdown. And meanwhile, Spawn with a massive kill onto Obstinius. And all of a sudden, Blue Otter is right back in the game. Well, well, well. How do you like that? A little mid intervention by Munchie. A kill onto the bot lane. And all of a sudden, with the Drake, now Blue Otter is in the lead. Slightly. What a twist in events. So I said the bot lane would be massive, but unfortunately, Munchie just absolutely getting wrecked, getting dragged down by this stolen ulti, and unfortunately, Spirits with another kill. 3-0-1, and K got a top lane kill, and oh my god, it's back to hell in the handbasket. It is back to hell in the handbasket with a solo bolo onto Ariana by K. And now, unfortunately, getting trapped, bubbled, and Spirits with another kill. Meanwhile, Rovex with a kill. I think it was a burn. I believe it was a burn, by the way. I believe it was a burn. Oh, yeah, oh my goodness. It was the burn. It was the Ari. It was the beats by Seraphine that actually killed her. So that's pretty much the reason why Spirit's gonna kill. But 4 kills so far by Spirits right now. He is actually dominating the mid lane. 6-6-5 on the mid lane gold grab, of course. And Scary Jerry and Spawn is pretty much classing. Meanwhile, trying to like high in the quarter lead, by the way. Just need to high in the quarter lead. Let's just go with 720. Just go 720 here. And let's continue. And right now, Kay and Ariana is clashing in the top lane, but the huge solo bolo is huge. And now, of course, forced to walk away. And Munchie's searching for something. Munchie's searching in the top lane. Meanwhile, Encore, big tidal wave, unfortunately does not beat enough, and I think that'll be a kill for Munchie. It is onto Scary Jerry. Now, of course, bot lane getting all the gold. And we're back to an even game, which you are Blue Otter, you're happy about, but I'm just not feeling sure about it. Because the mid lane is not looking so well. Top lane is not looking great with the 1.1k gold lead and that solo bolo. So again, Nivela's in control, but not for much. That the solo laners are doing actually work. Ariana coming in, this time with Triforce. He's going to do all the work on the Ariana. I think Poppy's probably playing some tank, of course. Spirix is not looking great. 3 people are surrounding him. And I think these 3 people are going to come in and try to kill him right now, unless he can do something crazy, which he did. And now the rest of the cavalry comes in. And now they're going to walk away. Meanwhile, K is looking worse for wear, but that's just all a ruse because here he comes. He's trying to do a counter strike, sit right around the tower. He nearly get killed, and he just walks away. Brilliant work by Arcana to use some of the powers to kill off Mei, but unfortunately it was not for long. Kay just rules Ariana into submission and just dies. Another solo bolo for Ariana. He is not having a great series. He is not having a great series, to be honest. A poor best of play, and out in 2 solo bolos in the top lane. Ay caramba. It is not looking great. Top lane looking absolutely lost right now. It is pretty much down to like the bot lane. Main lane is not looking great. Ball lane has to hold his own to try to win the game. Meanwhile, if you look at the replay, Dodgeax will be recalling. Ariana just step back and forward, and then, of course, seeing the counter-strike, and then boom. Goodbye. And right now, this is not looking great right now. Top lane is getting cooked. Top lane is absolutely getting cooked. As the first tower of the game goes in favor of Arin and killed. Meanwhile, a little tidal wave trying to get the tower back, but unfortunately does not do it. And now it's Blue Otter turn to try to get the bot tier tower, of course, but unfortunately did not do it. And now, meanwhile, Spirix is not long for this world. He got the flash, which is the good news for Semkin. Semkin got the flash. And unfortunately, looked like a little bit of trap nets going in. And unfortunately, the dogs hound on Rovex and get killed. And now the dogs ascended again. And now forced to go away. But Yuji is smelling more blood, smelling spirits. He's about to get killed. Spots him, get more damage, and just walks away, pretty simply. And now it is Scary Jerry's turn to get some tower damage. Meanwhile, TP belongs to Poppy as he's trying to neutralize the bot lane, which means Spirix is going to the top lane. Jax is doing all the work in the mid lane, of course. He's going to go back. And once again, Dragon goes to Munchie. Now, I think you can say if you are Blue Otters, Dragon's deck is huge. That is Infernal and Mountain Drake. Maybe Clown Soul could be absolutely good. Chemtech Soul will be like the worst. Marvelous, of course, with all the healing and the shielding that you have on the Seraphine and all the HP damage, which I think is huge. I think it's a massive Drake for Blue Otter to have to win. So right now, as long as Blue Otter is stacking Drakes, I think they have a chance. Not a big chance, but have a chance. And my video is kind of sticking a little bit. Just going to place Prey. And it's a little bit sticky. And unfortunately, there's a tidal wave. There's an ulti by Vi. Unfortunately, Yuji had to work, got hounding the dogs. And unfortunately, the dogs did not hound him. Got healed him, of course. Got back in. Killed by the Ahri. And then, of course, but the Spirix is just too much for them. Double killed. And now it is really troubling right now. It is a 10-6, 4.3k goal lead. Spirix is 6-2-0. And it's just not looking dire. It is not looking dire right now. Absolutely not dire. So you look at the replay, a little VOD, Munchie trying to go in. Scary Jerry got killed first. And then, after Yuji just killed Rovix. What did it? I think it was like it's done. Munchie. Munchie with the stun onto Yuji just kind of stopped him. And then of course force the damage. But not before Spirix kill Munchie. And then Spirix kind of escapes, and then he did. Samkin kind of escapes, of course, but Spirix once again with another kill. And now that's 2 kills. So that's 6 kills on the mill. You have to say that Spirix just absolutely dominated this game from like the early get-go. From the first kill onwards, he just dominates the game. And now that's Rift Arrow, of course, around 16 minutes. Pretty much, they're probably going to look at mid lane, of course, as a target. But now Ariama trying to get revenge. He's trying to get revenge, of course, but his Jax is a little too much. It'll take 3 people to take him, and it took 3 people to take him, but not to get killed. Force the flash, which is actually like the only good news. The bad news is 2.7k goal lead. That is just not good. And meanwhile, Scary Jerry is not long for his world. He's getting stunned, of course, probably going to get killed, but the Scary Jerry is alive. He got killed, but Spirix, once again, with the Mel looking all the more menacing. It's a melee here in the mid lane. As Spirix getting our kill, mid-terror getting gone. And right now, Mr. Austinius is taking a little escape. Maybe top tower? No. Did not. Yeah, and no. I was thinking he's trying to do top tower, but there's no top tower there. It's only the second tier. And trying a little escape, of course. But my God, it is troubling right now. Troubling. 8-2-0. 1.9k goal lead in the mid lane. 2.7k gold in the top lane, 1.2 into Yuji. It is just brutal right now. And unfortunately, it's going to be brutal for Ariama as he forced a flash. Yuji's doing all the work, of course, with the Hound Dogs. And I just don't know what to do right now. I just don't know what to do. This might be a quick series, of course. It might be a quick series. As a little bit of ulti, of course. And goodbye right now. Still alive. And right now, Munchie's trying to sneak in, but unfortunately it does not work. And I think Drag Soul is coming in. They're probably going to use it to stop the stacking, which they do. And there you go. So that is a Drake. That is Ocean Soul gone. Stop the soul stacking. And right now, Blue Otter needs answers. They need answers fast for this game is going hell in a handbasket. The last game lasted about 39 minutes, but that is more of scale and in composition. This may not last like more than 30 minutes right now, based on how brilliant Spirix is and now dominating the rest of the solo lanes are, especially in the top. I mean, the other teams are like combined like 5.6k gold as Munchie going deep in, and unfortunately he getting absolutely punished, forced to flash in, reach out, kill Yuji. That's huge, of course. But look at the Jax. Look at the Jax how menacing is. Spirit's at another unstoppable. He is absolutely looking good right now. He is unstoppable. She looks unstoppable to the hatred of many League of Legends fans. And right now, I just don't know what to do right now. If you are Blue Otter, you're just fishing for something, anything. As usually trying to take a Gans on top tower. Me. And right now, Ariana and Yuji trying Ariana and well, I was going to say Ariana Vk is gonna slow down, but unfortunately Seraphine Novak's with the Seraphine ult just helps them up. That's pretty much gonna relieve the pressure, but unfortunately the bot tower is not looking great, and that's gone right now. So I think that's pretty much relieved some of the pressure so far. 2:35 remaining on the Drake. And oh, massive arrow onto spawn, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do a lick. Now the damage is going to come in. Oh, massive damage to the Scary Jerry. But I don't think Scary Jerry is a threat right now. I do not think Scary Jerry is a threat. They're all going to go into the Baron and they're getting damage, of course. Spirix is absolutely doing the work. So no one dies, which is actually a good news for Blue Otter. The bad news is that mid tower is going to be absolutely shredded. Maybe top tower might take it away, of course. So in returns of ultimates, the Azures are gone. I mean, the Encore is still there. The Wrecking Ball is still there. The R is still there. I don't see any Poppy didn't use a single R in this game. It's 24 minutes in, and I don't see Poppy using a single R in this game. That is wild. Absolutely wild. And meanwhile, this Barracks is getting absolutely scary. 9-2-0 right now. And Yuji, do not forget about Yuji. He can actually put up damage, of course. 6 assists. So he's actually doing the work. And unfortunately, also poke, trying to afford the damage. And a little Ash Arrow stunned only 2 people. Now they have a chance. Now Munchie has a chance, of course, to kill them. And now Scary Jerry's gone. Unfortunately, Jackson just too much Spirits with once again being dominated. And now the Hound, they're calling the dogs. And unfortunately, they have to walk away. But look at the damage. Look at how big it is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wowzers. Absolutely wowzers. Spirits put him in a massive damage, of course. Spirits just absolutely put him in massive damage. That's a clippable one right there. That's a clippable one right there, of course. That's just absolutely gangbangsters, of course. That's absolutely gangbangsters. Now they took Ocean Soul, 2 Drakes to 2, 25-41. And I don't feel good about anything. Like, Scary Jerry is not having a great game, but that doesn't matter when Spirix is doing work and Yuji doing work and K doing work. I think you can say that Spirix is my MVP of this entire game, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, the whole thing is buffering right now. This is what happens when you put it into charge. The computer. You are getting no stream buffering, of course. Probably going to lower it down, but unfortunately, this series is pretty much lowering down the standards to the end. And I mean, by the way, no tower is being taken. Not a single tower being taken by Blue Otter. I think right now they have to focus on the Drake. K is showing much focus, but unfortunately, they cannot do it. And they are trying the best to surround themselves. Yuji is waiting in the wings, waiting in the shadows, waiting for a mistake to come in. He's lying and waiting and purring, and unfortunately, he did not want to show his hand. So there's that. The question is, will they take Baron at this point? Meanwhile, Ariana is pretty much in trouble. Top tower is pretty much the focus right now. If you're Maribel University, bonk goes Ariana, and he's gonna walk away. And look at that damage! My God, Spirix. Spirix is doing all the damage, and bonk on the head, pretty much saying that. Oh, look at that! Big kill, big arrow, big kill on the Munchie. Huge shutdown, and a massive before Mr. K got killed, of course, on the top. Meanwhile, the 3 players making Baron. So, of course, congratulations, you take down 2 players, but unfortunately, Baron is ours. That is a worthy sacrifice. That is like sacrificing 3 players for Baron. That is actually work. And just pause a little bit so I can just make sure we're okay. Okay, we'll go again, and we'll go again. Okay. So the replay, of course, showcased that massive, a massive arrow, and then, of course, Munchie with a punch, huge shutdown on the pop. Bobby and NK, of course, getting killed, of course, but all of this for the Baron, all of this for the glorious Baron, which I believe that is kind of worth. And now, Poppy is nearly dead to rights by the UG. Raptors coming in. It's going to take care of the Krugs, and now it's going to push it in top lane with all the Baron of minions, 3 remaining, of course, but if enough to take down to top tier 2, which is favorable, yes. 5.7k damage, 5.7k gold lead. Massive damage by Samkin, but I don't know if it's enough. Right now, they're encamped right now with all the Baron of minions. And mid lane, and Sparix getting Ash Arrow, but unfortunately he's cleansed. Luckily for him. Or pretty much getting shielded, whichever comes first. Ari's going to do something, but unfortunately cannot do it. And then unfortunately, now Maribel, oh my days! Rofax getting popped! There's no counter for you, Seraphine. You are gone! Sparix has a composure right now. He is absolutely cooking right now. That is the support being gone. That is mid-turn gone, and mid-tier 2, and inhibitor gone. I think this is game. I think this is game over, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this is game. Nexus inhibitor is down. Sparix is doing all the damage. He is doing all the work. Poppy ulti for probably the first time all game, but it's pretty much done to not. Rooted brilliantly. Uses the stopwatch. Get killed, which is actually the good news, but unfortunately, that is not the greatest news of all, because nobody's probably going to kill K. But I think because of Spirit's death, they might go into retreat. They might go into retreat, and they do. With the dragon up, they might go to retreat. It's actually a good thing. Maybe they might bait them for a fight. Maybe they might bait them. And they do. They bait them. Gold. When Golden is K, Golden is getting chunked right now. He's going right in and trying to do his best spin the picture, but unfortunately Spawn kills him. And the game continues. Maribel's showing some fight here. But unfortunately, Spirix just came back and just absolutely deleted the Poppy. And unfortunately, UG just still leads Mr. Samkin. And now the entire game is looking hell in a handbasket. Down goes Munchie. I think he's not going to win for the world. But bye. Scary Jerry with his first kill of the game. And unfortunately, he's going to be the last. And then unfortunately for Maribel, it is just domination from the mid lane from the start. Nothing can do. Spirix. I know Mel is listen, I hate Mel so much. I think many people hate Mel, but I don't care. When a person, put a hands on Mel and put in a great performance, you just have to admire it. As toxic as champion is, you just have to admire it. That's the last kill. 15-4-3 and MVP as Maribel wins 2-0. My God, what a mid lane performance by Spirix. Jeez. That's what you call a masterful Mel performance, if you say so myself. That is brutal. Absolute brutal. So yeah, Maribel won the series 2-0. It's time for us to give us the 3 stars of the series, as I think we're about to exit the. I think we're about to enter stage left as we reach the 10 p.m. hour. My parents are gonna come in, so let's just quickly go to the series, and let's just see if I can. I think you're probably gonna see the scores already. But remember, I'm gonna be casting some of the games and give my reaction of this. We got Dorado and NRG coming up tomorrow, and AMA trying to recover against Winthrop University. So those are the 2 games tomorrow. And if you look at the series, Spirix was pretty much dominated in that series. And I think he's my first star. That male performance was amazing. Probably the best male performance we have seen probably all year, I can say. We don't see like male performances that dominant. That's just something else. 7. That is a 3.9 KDA. And then the second star goes to, maybe I give it Scary Cherry, but I believe that it's K deserved the performance. Um 8, 4, and 11. And finally, I think we'll give it to Abstinianus. Abstininatus. And give it the support. And then 1, 5, and 33. There. And unfortunately, my team of the series has to go to. I have to give it to Ariana. Yeah, Ariana, not a great performance. Just let me down, man. Just let me down. Not a great performance. The Embessa game was awful. The Poppy game was forgettable. It was an awful performance. 2.9 and 4.7 KDA, and that was it. And that concludes pretty much the first day. There's 2 more days of action, maybe 2 more days of casting. I think there'll be matches, of course, by the time, of course. So that means they'll do game day 3. I'll be stuck in day 2, but whatever. I'm gonna do my best. And yeah, that's pretty much does it for this one. And I believe it's time for me to end my stream the way I'll do it. Ooh, with me looking at some anime stuff. Yeah, I know. It's time for the weave to try to bust out the anime chops. So, in case many people do not know it, let me just look at my profile. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the anime schedule website. And I want to show you my profile. I want to show you how, well, not saying hardcore, but more like how into it I am. How really into it I am. So I think they're probably going to open the profile. I just open up a profile. There you go. Let's just see how hardcore I am. Let's just look at how hardcore I am. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am currently watching 2 shows. We had The Friend, Beyond Journey, and Season 2. Steel Ball Run, which, by the way, I think, come on. You can't just end one episode like that. One Piece, I mean, it's currently have their arc going on. And Apothecary Diaries, I'm in their 15th episode. But look at how many I watch. Like, look at this. Cheese and rice. Like, look how much I watched. This is absurd. And by the way, these are all the shows I am going to watch later on. Like, I don't know if I have time, man. I haven't watched a show that's not animated in like a long, long time. It is wild, I guess. It is absolutely wild. So, yeah, I'll be probably going to be picking up, of course, when this whole thing is over. Yeah, so Maribel and Maribel and CZG with a dominating statement wins, of course. Maribel just showcasing their class. They're 2-0 right now, and they're looking like absolute gangbusters right now. Meanwhile, I can say that CZG looking work. AMA has to pick up the pieces, of course, starting tomorrow. And yeah, that should do it. That should pretty much do it. It's been like 3 hours and 32 minutes. I think it's time for me to call it a day. And it's time for me to raid. I am feeling like a raider tonight. We are feeling like a raider tonight. We have 2 viewers right now, and we're gonna raid the floor. So yes, sorry viewer, but I think it's time for me to leave. So where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it, Akeem? Where is it? Okay, there we go. There you go. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for me to get skedaddle, and it's time for me to. I think it's time for me to like close this thing off, stop the whole thing, and yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to raid a viewer right now. So wow, there's none. There's no raiders here. My lord, nobody's switching. Nobody's reading in this night. Nobody. Um, let's let's just find someone. Let's just find someone. Let's just find someone. Let's just find someone to raid. Let's just find someone to raid. Let's just find someone to raid tonight. Stream Corto, ACL, no. Summon 1G. Oh, I know about Summon 1G. Summon 1G is amazing. But I think it's Moist Critical. I think I appreciate Charlie. I appreciate Moist Critical being involved in the scene, being involved with League of Legends. So you know what? I think it's time for me to raid his channel. I think it's time for me to raid his channel. Being involved in the scene, being involved with League of Legends. So you know what? I think it's time. Yeah, I think I'm gonna time for me to pay a visit to Charlie, of course. Say hi to Charlie for me, of course. And I think we start the raid right now. Yeah. Okay, so on behalf of myself, I think it's time for me to go. It's been great watching you being cringe and all that kind of stuff. And thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us in all the plans. And yeah, I think it's time for me to end the stream right here. So on behalf of everybody else, I want to thank you. I want to thank you. And I will see you all tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, of course, for more of all the stuff. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to this video. Make sure we get like more viewership so they get like 100 viewers, of course, by the end of it. And yeah, I will see you all later. Peace.